match, just because we haven't really seen him go this far in the distance in any open singles as of late. But you are right. When he beat Kane and he beat Tony, and he did it in convincing fashion, and he did it with defense. His
He did.
defensive goalie game was phenomenal against both Kane and Tony. I'd be very curious to see how he pairs up against Brandon, who, as you say, has got very fast hands.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of playing Brandon, and you watch him play, and you go, all right, that dude's fast, like, but I think I can handle it. And then you play him, and you're like, all right, dude, I get it. Your hands are really fast.
Yeah.
But in comparison, you're right. JLI has played phenomenal defense so far throughout the tournament. That is what has kept him in the matches. That is really solid 2-rod, right? Obviously, he's got some of the best banks in the tour right now, in my opinion, especially from that 2-rod. And he, there's been times he's been passing back on big points to shoot from back. But his 3-rod has actually done pretty good. So I'll be interested to see how him and him and Brandon, I should say, match up.
Yeah, what I'm looking for here is Brandon, in particular, what he's going to do on every single rod and every single man across the match. If he's going to break Jay's defense has been working really well against your standard 3-bar shots. But what Brandon's greatest strength is being able to shoot and score from any rod, any man at any given moment in rhythm. And if anything's going to work against Jay right now, it's going to be that. So this is a great matchup.
100%, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be his transition game, for sure. Brandon's transition game is, in my opinion, one of the top maybe 3 or 4 right now on the planet.
Yeah.
Just his ability to pick up and go, right?
Yeah, that's
People
fair.
like Tony can do it, Ryan can do it, But there's not a lot of guys that do it as well as he does. It's something that he truly does very, very well.
And
I'd say his 3-bar is probably the last thing you're scared of when you're playing Brandon Munoz, because he's scoring from his 2, he's scoring from his 5, but he still has a really good 3-rod.
Yeah, and that's saying something, though, because the 3-rod is still integral in a singles game, in a singles match, and obviously that's obvious, right? But at the same time, if Jay can do what he's been doing against everybody else's 3-bars this weekend, then the transition game, it almost nullifies it. And to that point, Jay has been seeing people's tells throughout the weekend, and I know that Brandon is he favors the pull side on his roller.
Absolutely.
He favors the pull side. Jay knows that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Brandon responds. It's going to be a really fascinating match.
I think everyone knows that Brandon's pull side is his favorite side,
right.
And yet he still gets it.
Right.
So, and there's something to be said about that. You can even tell by the way he sets up on the ball, right? He's a little bit of offset on that ball at times, which is like giant tell saying, hey, I'm loading up for the pull side.
Right.
But he times it so well at times that it's impressive. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, he does not only time it well, but he hammers it. He can go
absolutely
a pull side past big dot, and it goes faster than if I was going a straight. It's phenomenal. He's just got that ability.
He also has a nasty pull kick from back there.
He does, yeah.
That 2-rod. It's pretty impressive. It's hard to hit. Like back a few years ago, the older tables, hitting pull kicks was a little bit easier. Nowadays, that pull kick, the deep one, that big 7-stroke pull kick, is actually a little bit more difficult. So his ability to still be able to do that is impressive. Guys like Bobby Diaz and Terry Moore had great pull kicks, and you don't get to see them even shoot them all that much.
What changed on the table?
I'm not 100% sure. I know the ball has changed a little bit. My argument would be the surface maybe has changed a touch, something in there. You just don't get the same friction that you once did to get that kind of squib out on the pull kick. Oh, here we go. We're getting ready to rock and roll here. Looks like JLI is going to get to be able to start the ball off here. Looks for a wall pass, blocked by Brandon Munoz.
Be curious to see. These two are going to be sizing each other up this first game. They both know how incredibly important this match is to get in the finals. And I feel like they're going to be playing a little slow, which is so far there.
So true. I mean, no question. Neither one of them has decided to start off quick, which is pretty surprising.
But, both of them know, at this level, they know their strength. And they know, wow, okay.
Yep, left hook.
That. Every single rod is a threat with Brandon, of course. But they know
Absolutely.
their strengths, and they know that both of their strengths is being able to hit turbo, right? So what they're going to be doing is kind of saving that to see, and they both know the other one can do it. So it'll be very interesting to see when that starts happening. The pace will pick up at some point, and we probably wouldn't even know it's happening as it's happening.
And well, maybe. I was going to say, it feels like Brandon's already starting to pick up the pace a tiny bit. His shots are coming in quick. He's not really taking much time. He's already up 3-0 and calls a timeout.
It amazes me. It amazes me how he can just turn it on like that. Especially, and what he's doing is because Jay's defense has been giving people corners, but Brandon has been very brightly doing just right down the middle. And that kind of offensive pressure puts pressure on Jay's 3-bar.
Absolutely.
Wow. You know, Chase, at Worlds, the Tornado Championships last year, I got to play on those Orlando sport tables that they had there. And I played that one-touch game where you only get which is a lot of fun. You can only touch the ball once on any given time it's in your zone, any rod. And I played Jay and
he's incredible at it.
Oh gosh, yeah, he is.
I watched that. I was actually standing there watching that.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So I was. Yeah, he's phenomenal. Got a phenomenal ability, and his banks and everything that he can do are quite amazing on that table. It's a fun table.
It's really impressive. So actually, I was just messaged by the one and only Terry Rue, letting me know about why the pull kick is so inconsistent. And one of the reasons that he says is that the holes are not coplanar. I have absolutely no idea. Coplanar, I don't know what that means. But basically, they're off tilt. So the toss and the timing's a little bit off, which makes it a little bit more inconsistent and less reliable. So, and he's somebody that had a Canon one too. I should have put him on the list. But so Brandon has really dialed up his game here a bit and started playing his quick pace. Jay, however, has not. He's still trying to play a little bit more, I would say, traditional style.
Right. But
I say that, and the commentator's curse is about to kick in.
Yeah, he's gonna turn it up. But I don't know. I still think you kind of wonder about that though, because Jay was on this massive tear, right? Like he sprayed him and beat him. No, yeah, he played him, and then he played Kane. That all happened within, I think, about an hour. And then there was a huge break. There was hours between that last match and this one here. And I wonder if there's I call it the Wile E. Coyote effect, where Wile E. Coyote, he would be hanging over the cliff, but he only fell down once he looked down and realized he was off the cliff, right? And I wonder if there's some part of Jay where he realized he was in some rarefied air. I don't know. Maybe I overthink the mental aspect of it, but he's not coming out with the same authority that he did those last two matches.
Yeah, I mean, you have a point that he's not blocking at the percentage he was before, which was a big aspect to his wins earlier. What a great pass off the back wall by Brandon Munoz.
Beautiful transition.
It really was. So I feel like he does need to get back to his bread and butter, so to speak. Play the game that he likes to play, and not let Brandon play his.
And Brandon, I think that was his fourth straight.
Yeah.
Scored on his 3-bar. I mean, he's just really attacking that. Speaking of attack, what an angle.
Yeah. Talk about unorthodox styles of play.
That was a chip, right?
Yeah, that was like a little
deep corner.
Yeah, there was definitely a chip off the 3-rod. Is that 5 middles?
Yeah, 5 middles. So folks at home, and I keep talking about this all the time whenever I get a chance. Brandon came into this with a game plan. He's not just falling backwards into these straights and middles. There's a reason why. And every single middle has looked different. That last one was a tap straight. The other one, he's doing shake, shake, go. So they all look different, and that's something that's going to really take apart somebody's defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see the adjustment if it happens.
Well, that is part of it, right? There's going to have to be an adjustment by JLI. He's going to have to realize what Brandon's doing, and then he has to be ready for the next adjustment that Brandon's going to make.
Right. This is something that Chase, I've been talking about on Foos Talk Live. I don't know if you listened to it or not, but one of the things that I've been looking at are players like Munoz and Dijon and all the up and comers. I say that Munoz had a soft breakout last year in a bunch of different tournaments, notably Colorado State. For me, what I'm waiting to see him do is close. He's getting second, third, but he needs to win, hold on to it and win. And this is the way somebody plays that is grasping that. Is controlled, but still is relying on their strengths.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's taken what he's good at, and he's adding to it. And
Right.
JLI passes back. This is what I was talking about. JLI relies on this 2-rod. He's actually missed 2 corners that he should have probably had. They were there, and he just ever so slightly missed them. But no, to get back to your point, wow, great pass. Back to your point, you're 100% right. He has gotten very, very far and was able to destroy people at the lower levels just with his hand speed alone. He didn't have to even really shoot, didn't have to have a good 2-rod, didn't have to have a good 3-rod. But to compete at the highest level against the Tonys and everybody else, you're 100% correct. He's got to have more of a game plan. He's got to play a little bit more consistently across the whole table. And you're right, 100%. And it looks like he's adapting to it. He's attempting to play at that level. He wants to be there. He wants to beat people like Tony. 6 or 7 now. Straights.
Yeah. Which is phenomenal. I think was that not a tap out, come back to the straight?
It was hard to tell for me. It seemed like he just tapped it and went down.
Because Jay adjusted his defense. I mean, he was doing a shake, he was doing a flutter, but it was right there on the center. So I think that was just beautiful timing on Brandon's part. Oof.
That's a huge break for Jay.
Huge. Yeah, that's huge. And so this is it, right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is where you got to come back close. If Brandon is, well, there you go, tied it up. So if he can turn this around, block. This is the
I think Jay's going to pass this back. I don't know. I've seen him pass back on 4-4 a couple times. There's a chance he does this little pass back to his own. Yep. He just believes in his 2-rod more than he does in his passing.
Nope,
I can't blame him.
No. I mean, see, that's the thing. It's unorthodox. We call that unorthodox. But
That's
look,
it.
It pays dividends, and you've got to do that. Everybody, you've got to play to your strengths. And if passing the ball back to your 2 feels weird and unorthodox, but it's still the right call, you got to do it.
I mean, he just to prove his point, he just passed back and scored.
Right. Now it's 1-1, and that's huge. It's a beautiful thing, Chase. One of the reasons why I love this game so much is because it was close. The momentum was kind of swinging back and forth. Then he got a break. Then he capitalized on it, and he capitalized on it doing something that is his strength. And I love that about this game.
Yeah, foosball is one of the neat sport used term loosely, that allows people to play it however they want to some degree. And as long as you become like a master at what you do and you find ways to get the ball in the cup, you're going to be successful. I learned foosball kind of from my dad, and my dad's favorite line was, hit the ball hard and good things happen.
Right, I agree with that.
And there's an argument to be made about that.
Yeah, there is.
You try hard, you work, you do your thing, and you hit the ball you hit the ball pretty hard, you're going to find yourself getting more and more points.
Yeah. If I was Jay at this point, I think I would park on the pole and the straight and just give him a push side. Just do something different here. Okay. There it is.
There's that.
He didn't park on it though. He posted up. That post defense is becoming very popular, or at the very least, we're seeing it a lot more after Ryan Moore used it to great effect at the Worlds last year.
Yeah, Tony specifically, absolutely.
Chase, I'm curious. So you're second generation Fooser?
Kind of. I could argue. So my dad played a little bit back in the 70s in the bars in Athens, Ohio.
Okay.
I'm one of those weird people. When I was 16 years old, my dad came home with a coin-op tornado table. All right, put it in the basement and said, hey, I played back in the 70s. Me and my best friend are going to play you and your best friend, and we're going to beat you for the next, 2 years.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, cool, we can do that. And that's exactly what happened. And right when I was about to go to college, I was just getting good enough to, beat my dad in his butt.
Yeah.
And then I go to college, and I beat everybody at college, which was sweet. So until
Yeah.
I actually learned how to play foosball. But yeah, I mean, in my second generation, I'm not 100% sure if that defines it. But my dad
I would
played
say
in the
that.
bars in the 70s, but he did not play on tour.
In Ohio, do you know in the mid 70s, early 70s?
It would have been late 70s.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, southeastern Ohio.
My dad was on the promo teams back then, and they went through Ohio. I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah,
van
so this
that
would have been
pretty
in
much went
Athens, Ohio. There were some like pretty good like semi-pros in the area way back then.
Right.
One of them would have been Jay, or not Jay. Who was it? Last name was Smith. I think it was Jay Smith. Really good player, but you know, as does when you don't play for years and years and years, you know, the game kind of passes you by, so to speak.
Munoz up now 2-1 in game score, and it's interesting. He did a little fist bump there right before this fourth game started.
Brandon is one of those guys. He's so animated. He's not trying super hard until you see him animated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But to your point that you said earlier, he's still trying to kind of find that hybrid game, right? Where he can play his style, but still have his fast hands.
And he's doing it. I mean, this is the thing, and I feel some kinship with him because I did a lot of I won a lot of stuff in the early 2000s on my way up through just hand speed and playing aggressively, and then I lost my mind and didn't really get to that next level of looking at it the way that I think about it now. But you know, it's interesting. He's putting the pieces together. This is him playing really well. Now he's opening it up and putting on the gas, doing these long pull sides, and he set that up. He set that up for the last 3 games, so that's paying dividends as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, by shooting the middles like he did, it's forcing Jay's defense, right? So that Jay made the adjustment, Brandon made the one after it to start going pull side. Now it's time for Jay to make another adjustment to see. Yeah?
Yeah.
And, I mean, right there, I think with the shake D, he is attempting to do that. So let's see if he can now capitalize, because this is a big game for him. He's got to come back. He's down, 2-1.
But yeah, and Brandon has done 2 things very well so far. He has taken apart Jay's defense of goalie, and he's been having a really good zone. And
he's getting
converting
a couple
on
breaks.
blocks. Yeah.
He's spiked him once from the 5 already, and now got that one. So that quick transition stuff's starting to work well for him.
Yeah. But Brandon's zone is doing quite well against Jay.
Yeah, so Brandon's starting to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, he's starting to have a little bit of fun, and that's when he can start to become dangerous. Yeah. He's trying to block that pass back.
I need a result for table 20.
See that? That was such a smooth up. Yeah, I thought he was going to do a 5-bar shot, right?
Yeah, that's the trouble with Brandon. He's got so many weapons from that 5-bar.
Yeah.
I even watched the other day. I was watching one of his matches just to get an idea of like exactly how fast he really is. He does a fake left hook into a wall pass, like full speed. And I was just like, I literally walked over to my table and tried to figure out how to do it. And that's the set. So now Brandon Munoz has king seat. He will be waiting for one of a few different players to come back to him. Let's take a look here.
Jay might be one of them. King Gabriel, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Blake Robertson's still there. Tony's still out there.
I know that Tony was playing Michael Stahl at one point. I don't know how.
Yeah, it looks like Tourney has come out on top. So left in the field, we have Clint Hill Sr., Shannon Coley, Jacob Balkos, Rick Dell, Tony Spreedeman, Blake Robertson, King Gabriel, Greg Mendel, and obviously Jay Eli.
That's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be really interesting because, obviously Brandon is just to put a bow on it. That shot that he didn't do on his 5-bar when Brandon passed it to himself, he did the smoothest brush up that was just effortless. even though he'd been showing a very high amount of energy. And I really think that speaks to where Brandon's mind is right now. That if you could perform such levels of finesse when you have that much energy in you, that's a level of command and control that is breaking through the next level.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, all that adrenaline running through you, it's so hard to just like feather things. So, yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. Yeah, so I remember watching, and just to speak back to JLI and being quick-handed, I remember watching that match you played, not match, that fun game you guys played on the Roberto Sports there at the
Was it
World
with him and Jim?
Championships. Yeah, him and Jim, and it was you. I can't remember who you were playing with, but I was literally standing there, I think with Tony, kind of just talking crap because it's what's fun to do.
Right.
But he is impressive at that like Italian style.
Yeah, he is. I think
It's a skill because your brain, when you play a lot of tournaments and stuff, is to just like move the ball around and try and control things.
right. No, but he does. He has that ability, and he knows the touch of the table too. I think that we beat them. I'm not sure because I know that they won about 20 or something matches. I can't remember who it was that I played with. But I like that style of play, so it's something that I enjoy. But
Oh, it's super fun.
It is.
It takes you back to like being a kid again.
Right. No, it does. Yeah. No, that's why. That's how I grew up playing. My parents would call that warehouse foosball. But they both worked for tournament soccer back in the '70s, so that's how I grew up playing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Folks at home, this is the 2022 Tour kickoff in Lexington, Kentucky. We're bringing you Inside Foos is bringing you coverage. I believe we have only 4 events right now going on: open singles, amateur singles, open mixed, and expert singles.
Yep.
The bulk of the events are going to be starting tomorrow.
Rookie singles is about to start though.
Rookie singles is about to start. Let's see.
Yep.
What
And the
time?
DYP starts at about 10 o'clock.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So we have.
So we'll have 2 more events that are going to start while we're here, folks. You should have us until about 11 o'clock Eastern time. So tons of foosball still to be played.
Yeah. I'd be very curious. I mean, so that's the story so far for me developing is Jay and Brandon, actually just that match right there. Jay getting to that point and Brandon, like, what's he doing? Is he going to be doing a full-on breakout? Is that what's happening this weekend for him?
Well, we'll find out because unfortunately, I don't think he's really had to play any monsters yet. Let me check his bracket again. So, in theory, he would have been in the same bracket as Blake Robertson. Munoz, for, if you want to talk, top tier players, and I'm not trying to talk crap about anybody, but he, for him, has had a pretty easy road to get here. He hasn't had to play any Masters. He's only had to play, I think, 3 pros. Well, 4 including Jay. But again, no Masters. And there's such a jump between pro and pro master, in my opinion. And it's Mark Torres would say it's a chasm of information. But that's a little bit of an easier path, so to speak, than even Jay had to take. Jay had to go against 2 masters on his way to get there. So a little bit more difficult road, so to speak. So the true test for Brandon is going to be when he plays the finals. I think that'll be really interesting. All right, let's check here. Did I miss you? All right, let's see if they've called a match for us just yet. Doesn't look like we have a match coming up just yet, folks. Do forgive us. Adam will be with us in just a moment.
And I'm back. Sorry about that.
That is commentator's curse. Did you hear what I said?
Right.
I'm like, and Adam will be back with us in just a moment, and you literally appear.
Yeah, that's when I
A
decided.
genie
to
in a
show up.
bottle.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of the joys of remote commentating, folks. Is we still have the life here in our house, so there's a 5-year-old roaming about and pizza that needs to be eaten.
Ooh,
But
pizza.
speaking
Where'd
of
you get your pizza from?
the pizza, oh, top. So the place is called Topper's Pizza something. It's one of the
Okay.
better pizza places here. I'm in Ventura, California, by the way. Which actually begs the question: where are you out of right now, Chase?
I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, my friend.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
moved here about a year ago from Chicago, Illinois, and I can't say enough about this place. I really can't.
Why?
You know what? The people here are amazing, and I'm going to tell you a true story. Okay. So, and this is why I will never leave. So, about 1 year ago, it was Thanksgiving. Myself, my dad, my wife, my 3 children, my 2 dogs are all moving down to Tennessee. I just sold my house. My dad is about to close on his house down here. So me and my dad come down before me and my wife. So I come down, or before my wife and all of the kids. So I come down, help my dad get into his place. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and my wife and kids haven't come down yet. So we're just gonna like have some burgers, hang out, and just enjoy Thanksgiving. And we take the boat out, we go fishing, we come home. We just had parked the boat, just gone inside to like just start talking and trying to figure out what we're going to do for Thanksgiving dinner when we hear a knock on the door. It's our neighbor. She has come over with 2 full plates of Thanksgiving dinner and goes, "Well, I know you haven't had a woman around to cook y'all dinner tonight, so I figured I'd just bring this on over for you." I'm like, I'm never leaving, ever. And it
Wow.
was delicious. I mean,
Yeah.
delicious. You want to talk about like some Southern hospitality, good people, and that has been my so far like entire treatment here in Tennessee. The people here have just been wonderful.
Yeah, you read about that kind of stuff. At least in my parts here.
Oh, yeah.
That's really
It's
awesome.
a real thing, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's amazing.
That is
Absolutely
amazing.
amazing. All of the people here have just been wonderful.
Speaking of people that aren't wonderful, I heard there might be a little sparrow on my shoulder that a certain Mark Torres might be joining us momentarily, but I'm not sure.
Is there a veto button somewhere?
I don't know. I was
I
going to
love
go
Mark, so
walk
it's all
into
good.
the ocean, but you know, whatever works. But we'll see. We'll have a bated breath here. But I don't know if there's any. There's some other matches going on right now on our other streams. I believe we have 3 streams going, right?
Yeah. Table 1, Table 2, and Table 3 all at the moment.
So
you can check those out at InsideFoods.com.
Table 2 has got to open singles. I'm not saying leave, folks, but you can open multiple tabs on your browser. Open singles on Table 2, losers bracket for 7th, 8th, Shannon Coley versus Rick Dell. And open mixed, you've got Tony Sprademan and Ellen Moon versus Mary Moore and Ryan Moore. Seeing Ryan Moore and Mary Moore play with each other is really fun. I love seeing that parents and kids playing. And it's they're playing for second on the winner's side.
Oh, yeah. Single elimination, open mixed.
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen Ellen's tattoo on her right forearm?
No.
So, it is a crescent moon, and there is an L inside of the moon. So,
Oh,
L
yeah.
in
That's
moon.
like one of those. That's like when they have the word pretty written in cursive.
Yes.
Over the word whatever, pretty please, with a cherry on top. You know, what are those called? Those
Yep.
visual puzzles?
That's exactly how it is. It's honestly, like, I'm not a tattoo guy. It's my favorite tattoo right now.
Really?
Way to go, Ellen.
Yeah. I see.
Oh, boy.
That
is... Yeah.
Wait, your Mark.
I hear he's around, but...
Is that Justin? Kevin?
that's
Am I
Justin
live?
Shaw.
There he is.
Oh. Can I get a refund?
Wow.
I said Mark's name 3 times. I'm sorry, Chase.
I said it once, too. It's my fault.
Darn it.
I shouldn't have
Dude.
brought him up at all.
Check them ears.
It's after dark. It's after
Oh,
dark.
no.
losers.
It is?
It is technically after dark. Yeah, it is. I've got a beer in hand.
It's Inside Foods after dark. I don't know what I'm doing here. I was just listening and having fun. I should have not. I think it was narcissism, actually.
I love it. I
listened to you
said
guys
your
and
name,
I
I
thought,
said chasm, and you show up. You're
that's
laughing
hard.
because
That
it's
was
true.
good.
Mark, what's up?
Dude, what's up, dude? I don't know. I'm like watching foosball, man. It's like Yeah, I think your guys' analysis of Brandon is spot on. But you could hear the war drum beating, right? It's like, can you stop Tony Friedman? Right? Can you
You can
stop
feel
him?
it. You can
You
feel
know?
it. Well, and
Yeah,
here's the
dude.
thing. He's playing great. He's got his game under control. He's not out of control like I've seen him so many times.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, like I said, he didn't have anybody that he had to play on his way to get to King Seed. So, and I'm not trying to diss the people that he played, but they're not masters. You know, and I know that there's a difference between a pro and a pro master. And
A huge difference.
right?
Here's I had this conversation in Facebook Messenger chat today with some guys I really respect, and one of them is an expert. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm a weak pro. I'm not even a good pro, but I can look at an expert and amateur, and I can figure out in like one. Here's my favorite story, right? I'm playing open singles, and I'm playing some expert at the Worlds, and Federico walks up with Todd, and he watches me play, and he literally watches for like 90 seconds. And he whispers to Todd, and Todd whispers back. And I think the total time he watched me play was like 2 minutes. And then he walked away. And in that moment, I knew I had to play him next. And he saw everything he needed to see in 2 minutes. He
100%.
saw everything. He knew he was going to crush me in 2 minutes. And I was playing good. And the point being is this. A good master can watch you play, and they could figure out in like one game what you cannot do. And once they figure out what you cannot do, they don't have to defend it, and then you're toast. And that's the difference between a master and a pro. A master will watch a pro play and say, okay, you're done. You're finished. I mean, I'm not going to have any problems with you. And that's what happens. And that goes from master to pro to expert, expert to amateur. The same way as a pro, you can look at a lot of experts, Chase, and say, yeah, I know what I have to block.
I'll see you later.
And that scales upward it scales so far that we can't, like Tony. And let me give you an example. I was talking today, I was in message chat again about a good pro who has some weaknesses. And the weaknesses are the way his brain works and the way he makes decisions. And so he's susceptible to certain things. You can't take that same mentality and attack Tony with it, because Tony will just shoot a 5-bar shot on you and ruin your whole day. His toolbox is so deep, and this is Adam's word he likes to use, is right. If your toolbox is deep enough, and the masters have a deep, deep toolbox, you can't prepare for all of it. You can't.
No, you can't.
So to your point, the difference between a master and a pro is a chasm. And when you're on the lower end, just learning foosball, if you're an amateur, you don't even know what we're talking about.
No,
you have no idea what we're talking about.
It's not even a conversation. Like, you can't have that conversation with people. And that's, I'll explain something. So, and this is what I always find so difficult. Like, I have my YouTube series, right? And people are always asking me questions about, like, the reasons that I teach things the way that I do. I'm like, well, if I try and explain it to you with the information I actually know, you would not be able to follow the train of thought and the concepts.
Yeah.
So unless I break it down to the simplest ways of trying to explain something, you're not going to be able to do what I want you to do in the end. And you're going to skip steps 1 through 5. You're going to just try and go straight to 6. And you need to do steps 1 through 5 to even remotely get there.
Yeah, in educational parlance, that's called scaffolding, and it's entirely important to learning anything properly. For it to make any sense. And Mark, to the point both of you are making, actually, you and I were made brutally aware of Brandon's Munoz's kind of soft breakout that happened at Colorado State, and now we're seeing, I think, a level of focus that, and again, and Chase makes a good point. He wasn't really tested in his bracket, but he will be soon. And I think it's going to be the greatest test. I think it's going to even be a better test because he didn't have any of the top-end masters that he played to get to this point. But he's going to have to face them in a double-dip situation. I think that's might be on the road to taking any particular monkey off his back.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not looking at the bracket. Sorry, go ahead, Chase.
No, what I'm saying is yes and no. You're kind of right. However, you also need to be able to tune up against somebody and be tested a little bit. Because until you're there and trying to do that pass on 4-4 or trying to do that shot on 4-4, you don't know. Like, your game plan might be right, but you haven't been able to test it yet. Not really. And that's what I'm trying to say is, like, he hasn't gotten the ability to be like, oh, this is the real game plan. Let's try and execute this at a high level against really, really good competition. And until he does that against a top master, you don't know for sure.
Right. And real quick, I'm getting all kinds of messages from people. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Except for you, Tommy Brewer. I don't know why you're listening, but either way, please, if we're sitting around, we're kind of got some, we're in the doldrums in between matches. So if you have any questions, message me. This is on Chase. This is on your Twitch stream right now, right?
Yeah, this is on my Twitch stream. Absolutely.
Yeah, and or if you want, I'll text anybody Mark Torres' cell phone number. If you want to just send him whatever you.
I have him on speed dial for a reason.
We're just gonna, I know. Yeah, but no, please join on the chat.
Yeah, we'll love to have engagement. This is really interesting because I love this part of the conversation. There's all these milestones, right? There's like the first time you win a rookie event or an amateur event if you had a chance to, and then there's like the first time you beat a pro in singles, and then there might be like the first time you beat a master. But once you start getting there, and I remember very clearly Adam Gilson beating Terry Moore in open singles. When was that, Adam? I can't even put my finger on. You beat him in open singles at a major. What year was that? It was like 03, 04?
Oh, I don't remember. I know.
How do you not remember?
I don't remember a lot of these. I mean, it's just not. I remember beating Rob Mares at Nationals. I 3-straighted him.
Never mind. Forget it. My memory is better than yours. You're partying like. Here's what my point. By this time, Brandon has probably, maybe with the exception of Tony, he's beat everybody once, and that's a good milestone. Like you get to that means you're a good pro when you can beat all these guys in singles. You beat them all once. You got a little notch on your belt. It's a good milestone, but there is no milestone like winning an open singles mini, moderate, major, whatever you want to call TKO in Kentucky. That's a big leap. And I'm looking now. This is the first time I've looked at the bracket. You got Tourney, obviously. You got Blake Robertson. They're going to have to smother each other at some point. Kane is still in there. I like Jay a lot, and I wish the best for him. And I hope he can duplicate what he did, and maybe he will be able to. But he's going to have masters that are going to steamroll out of this losers bracket, and he's going to be fighting for his life to get back into that final. And Brandon, you guys have said it multiple different ways. I'm going to say it this way. If he's able to hold on to this winners bracket final, he's hit a huge milestone. It's going to have to hold off someone from getting double dipped. Now, if I'm betting right now, I'm betting Brandon gets double dipped, and I'm excited to be wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong. But history as a guide, there's like 3 people right now in this bracket that are going to high probability to double dip Brandon Munoz. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, Blake, Tourney, Kane.
I would argue there's 2, but I hear you. I just don't see. Kane's my boy. I love him as a human. I just don't see him taking down Tourney and, well, actually, he won't have to take down both. He just has to take down Tourney or Blake. But I don't see it. The history of the matchups there are just against him. But oh no, Kane will have to face Blake first. He does have to go through both. He would have to go through Blake and then Tourney in that order.
Wouldn't that be a crazy story? A good story? Kane gets past Blake, gets past Tourney.
That narrative would be phenomenal. I will be cheering for Kane, just because, like I said, he's my boy. I love Kane. I love Blake too. Actually, I was supposed to room with Tourney this weekend, but so they're all my boys. Like, I love these guys, but like if I had to choose one guy, you know who it's going to be. It's going to be Tourney every time. That dude's just a monster in singles.
He's such a fan favorite. People would probably be just as enthused to see some fresh blood in the final. So if you're betting, you bet on Tourney. Yeah. If you're a fan, you're kind of like, gosh, it would be great to see Kane or Jay.
It. My gosh, Jay, Blake, great, right? Kane, any of them, anybody that's in this field. To be honest with you, I would be cheering for as a fan. But as a betting ban, you have to put your money on Tourney, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway,
it's after dark. I need to refill my beer. I don't know what this is, but let me grab it.
You don't know what you're drinking?
No, we're talking about it's on the table right now. What are we looking at on the table?
This is some warm-up. Who is that? What do we got? Oh, there's Justin, and who is that with him? I don't know who that is.
It was funny interviewing Ryan Moore on the podcast. months and months ago. And, you talk about plateaus, and even these masters, these great masters, in periods of their play, they hit a ceiling, and then they have to, like, they hit a wall, and they got to climb up higher again to stay competitive. And Ryan talks about this place where he's like, you know, hit a wall, and then got climbed up a little higher, and then you start scaling, and that's kind of the journey, right? The journey is
Right.
once you hit that plateau, do you have it in you? I made it about you earlier because of you're here. You could validate or invalidate what I'm talking about, but I remember very clearly being around you as you're rapidly approaching becoming a master in Foos via the points, and that's a whole other conversation we won't get into now. But you were getting a lot of points quickly, but you were bound to hit a wall, and you yourself concede that if you would have gotten those 25 points to become a master, you wouldn't have felt like a master.
Yeah,
because there was too much more you hadn't done. Go ahead.
And to that point, Mark, and it was 10 points. But to that point, I mentioned this earlier to Chase. I feel a special kinship with Brandon because Brandon used his hand speed and sheer brute force for a very long time to get to where he is now. But there's that difference, there's that leap, and that was the path I was going. I know, my brain was about to bottom out, and I wasn't going to be able to, for personal reasons, make that next step of playing that 4D chess thing that these high level masters are doing. But and what I'm seeing break through a little bit here with Brandon is he's kind of doing it a little bit, but he hasn't been tested yet this weekend in singles, so it's going to be really interesting. And I'm with you right now. I feel like he can be dipped. But if he doesn't get dipped, then 2022 is going to look a lot different in the foosball scene. Look at what we're seeing here. 3 to 5.
It's a pretty neat little series, isn't it?
Match. Yeah, we've been talking about this. This is maybe the next evolution of doubles.
Well, so it was the next evolution in singles, right? You watch people like Frederic and Tourney have really done great with the 2 to 5 series. So why has it not happened in doubles yet? Is the great question.
You know who has a really great?
Well, it's not that original.
5? It's not. Well, it's a Jeep. I remember seeing Jeep do it back in the '90s when I was playing against him.
Well, Don Swan. You go back.
Not continuously.
Don Swan had a sick. You know who? So there's two people I'll speak to. Don Swan had a sick thing where he passed, and not really as much as the 5, but he had a series where he set the ball up in the middle and he banked. There's some great matches on Inside Foos. He has a cool center series. James Castillo has a cool little series. You know who was a series that Clay will say was the most efficient thing you'd see was Todd Lafredo's series he did in singles.
Yeah,
Todd's
the 2 to 3.
That series, Clay's that was probably the most efficient thing, mathematically, the most efficient thing he'd ever seen. And Clay's a numbers guy. I just think it takes a lot of commitment, and it's unconventional. I'm sure when Todd figured it out, he did what he did in Foosballers. He drew a bunch of diagrams with a pencil on the table and figured out the angles because you have to have that kind of commitment. But I think you guys are right. It just takes two people to really be committed to it, and you could change the way the game is played enough so that people start evolving it, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, there's an aspect to it that you lose though, and that's the scoring, right? And playing that zone game. But the turnover is what becomes interesting, right? Like that turnover, the possession aspect. And Tony's so good at it that, why hasn't somebody perfected it? And it's going to take a true team, somebody that says, I'm committed to doing this with you. We are a new team. We are what is going to be the future of foosball. And it's got to be somebody, a forward that's willing to pass and score all day long because it is all on you.
Yeah, you get guys that make scoring look so easy, and it skews the curve. When you get guys like Ryan, right, in the memory of guys like Billy, or even guys like Jay. Yeah. Jay can score he's a multi-time goalie war world champion. It skews the curve. There are a small number of guys that can score like that consistently from the goal. A lot of
100%.
those, and it's even. Clay would know the numbers, but no, like Ryan might score. It looks really impressive because he'll score 2 in a row, but he's still not scoring 50%.
No,
He's still
definitely not.
No one scores 50%. Yeah, so
The percentages
one
would
thing that
definitely
was
go up
interesting-
in that series. There's no question.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, the conversion.
Yeah.
As long as the 5 bar. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I truly believe, like, and if you were to write it up on paper, right, and you were to say this is the next step, I think that people would argue that that's it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my 2-rod, so I'm never going to be that guy. I'm never going to be that goalie for somebody. But
That's the
so
thing,
if you're
right?
looking for
Is
that forward, if you're looking for that goalie, and it's not me, folks.
Well, that's one of the problems. One of the problems is the serotonin, or whatever it is, the high of scoring and hearing the tin when you slam a ball from the 2 bar. If you're able to do that, you're searching for that moment, and you're
Yes.
not going to want to give it up so you can pass to a 5 bar. You're going to want to feel that and hear it.
100%. My ego is way too large for that. Oh, I think I'm
man.
funny.
I was in touch with a TS after the top 50 list. I ended up being in
Ugh.
touch with some TS masters for one. But then, this was a good conversation, and he draws a lot of analogies that are very cool. And so, in the 70s, they pattern. I know people are tired of hearing the 70s, but this will be relevant. In the 70s, they pattern everything off of tennis. As a matter
Sure.
of fact, 2 out of 3 match play is because tennis. And in the 70s, everybody was comparing themselves to like John McEnroe and Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg. And,
Makes sense.
Right? And so the one thing that was really, really highlighted back then that we kind of like don't really focus on, this whole idea of unforced errors. And so
Sure.
when he watches foosball now, he sees the number of turnovers and just thinks, man, we really, really took care of possessions back then differently. Like the freestyling, freewheeling play that we have now is a lot more shoot from the hip. And like in tennis, the unforced error is a big thing, right? Like 20 unforced errors versus 14 is the difference between winning and losing a match. We don't really even look at unforced errors, and that's what Tourney manages. Tourney manages the unforced errors with conversions. And so all it takes to this whole thing we're discussing right now, and what these guys are doing on the table, if someone figures out a method to reduce the unforced errors even more than the Masters now do, because Tracy McMillan is still shooting from the 2 bar, and when he's shooting
Exactly
from the 2 bar, he's still like at best he's going to be scoring 10-15% maybe.
Yeah.
There's still 85% in there where he could have had a higher percentage play.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm talking a lot.
No,
Adam, where are you? You still there?
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
Adam will be back. He had to step away for a moment, but he will be back with us momentarily.
Cool.
Here's the thing, right? And I've watched some of the old school matches on Dynamo and even a couple TS matches on old video, right? And the argument I would have is, yes, they probably did have a little bit better control, I would say. Not control. A little bit better possession ratio would be because they made less, they took less chances, perhaps, is the way of saying it.
Yeah, right.
The style of play in general, it lent to a more defensive, like goalie possession-y game. So it would be goalie to goalie a lot of times, opposed to like the ball flying around the table. It just seemed like the ball ended up in the hole a lot more, and not just necessarily clean stuff. It was just the way that the table played.
Yeah, smaller goal, right?
Yeah,
it was a smaller goal. Yeah.
I make this argument with people all the time, and I love how people are always like, well, the 70s, those players were the greatest of all time. I'm sorry, I'm the guy that destroys that argument because I don't think it's accurate. I think
There's
that
70
those
guys, by the way, will agree with you. There's 70s guys that will agree with you, but go ahead, keep going.
They were only playing for a few years. I don't care how much you've played or how good you think you were for playing just for a few years. I don't care if you played for just 10 years. Say it gave you 10 years on the TS table, which we all know is not how long that table existed for.
It was more of an average of 7.5 It was closer
Right.
to 7.5.
But let's give him 10. Okay, I'm gonna concede 10. Tony has been playing since he was like 7 years old.
Yeah, I know.
That gives
man.
Tony
Crazy.
30 years of playing time.
Yeah.
That is 3 times the amount of the TS players.
It's true.
The end.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot there, and it's true. Especially the second generation player like Tony, and Brandon, and Ryan, and Billy. And Brandon Munoz,
Munoz,
and Kevin Romero. Yeah, these guys are all and Sullivan Rue.
And they're all playing on multiple types of tables.
Yeah.
Don't forget that they're all playing multi-table.
And they are standing on the shoulders that are standing on the shoulders that are standing on the shoulders of those that came before them. It's just not a one-to-one comparison.
I agree. Yeah. It's really not. And
so we tried it, Mark. Hey, a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to get one. It's Blake Robertson versus Clint Hill Sr. This is for 5th, 6th on the loser's side.
Of what? Oh,
open singles. Yeah, open singles, my friend. Oh yes.
Look at Jacob Balkos. Jacob Balkos lost that match to get here. He almost was. We almost watched Jacob play Blake.
Oh.
Yeah, this I don't really know Clint Hill Sr. that well. I'm going to take a look at what he did in the bracket. So he was from Group C. So he beat Jacob to get here, but he did not have to play before this. So he was in L62. Okay. Oh, okay. So on his way to get here, he beat Derek Brown. Or no, I'm sorry, he beat Kevin Troy. And Danny, I can't pronounce Danny's last name. Andrada? Danny Andrada, the guy that beat Blake. He beat the guy that beat Blake.
Hey, what? Hey, white boy. It's Andrade, okay?
Andrade? Okay.
Lord.
First off, I'm about as pasty as they come, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't get much more transparent than me. I know that. I can't dance, all right? I know I can't dance. That's the reason I sit off the dance floor.
Why you gotta be about dance with you?
Hey, I know my place, okay? And it's not on the dance floor.
But yeah, so this is gonna be. So I don't know Clint Hill Sr. at all. I've never seen him play. This is the first look we've had at Blake, or that I have. You know, it's weird. This last year, I've had the opportunity to be in the Inside Boost booth, and I've taken a lot of photos of all the action going on up there. 98% of the photos I've taken are of Blake. I don't know if that's a me thing or a Blake thing.
Dude, that just goes to show
it's a you thing.
You have a thing for Blake.
I feel like
understand it. He's a beautiful person.
No, I feel like the beginning of that one movie where the guy's filming the plastic bag up in the air, like that's me right now. With Blake.
You're talking about American Beauty.
American Beauty.
Well played.
Remember
well
the
played.
kid was. Anyways.
Yeah, no, that was solid.
This is an After Dark. It's just creepy and sad. Yes, Mark. Please.
Hey, how about a little pitch for the Thunderdome coming up February 18th? I don't know if you saw it online, but Valley Dynamo has come on as a sponsor to the Thunderdome event.
That's phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Are the tables going to be on surfboards? Like, what's the tie-in there between Florida?
All tables will be inside of cages.
Ooh.
Kelly Stites, if you heard the interview, did you have a chance to listen to that interview, Chase?
No, I try to stay away anything that you're a part of.
You should, because it's going to blow your mind.
Honestly,
Anyway,
I've heard it's amazing. I've heard from a lot of people it's really good.
Yeah, Kelly Stites in the interview says, I would like to see the United States go to Swiss formats, and I would like to support it, and I want to become more visible, and I want to, I want to do this stuff, and he's putting his money where his mouth is somehow because he's backing the Thunderdome event, and the Thunderdome event is basically the highest payout, most visible no pro event in 40 years, and it's got 7 sponsors now or something like that.
That's
fantastic. How many package deals?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 7 package
21.
deals. Oh my
21.
gosh.
21
That's
package
amazing.
deals. Yeah.
That's amazing.
For not
we
winning,
are-
for just
we're
highest
on the
placing,
match here.
right?
Match has started.
Yeah, but we've got to
Say
finish
again?
talking about the Thunderdome.
Oh, here we go. No, here we go. Here we go. Let's party, you guys. Let's watch a match. Let's see it.
What is this? Blake
have
is
an
not
open mixed
playing
final.
like he's utterly concerned. Oh, the Open Mixed Finals just got called on table 2 with Kathy Atkinson and
That's
Tommy
beautiful.
Atkinson versus Mary Moore and Ryan Moore. It's a family affair on table 2, folks.
Oh, man.
Blake is shooting
he's
like
totally crushing
pin
it, dude.
series. Is that what's going on right now?
He's flipping. He's playing whatever. He's kind of playing a semi-funsy game.
That either means he has zero respect for Clint Hill Sr. or he just doesn't care about this weekend. One or the other.
Probably the former.
No, I think it's the former. I think he's doing what a lot of guys will do is figure out if they could play a B game and win anyway, and switch to their A game if they feel like
If
it's going to
needed.
become high risk.
Chip
Yeah.
by bar far wall shots are usually
Was
B or
was
C
it
game.
was it intentional though? Did he mean it?
No, he
Yeah.
didn't mean to do it. No, he
He
did not
did
mean to
too.
do that.
Yeah,
no,
he
he did
did.
not. That chipped. He went to go wall and it chipped.
Chase.
He did on purpose.
Now,
I
if you,
think Chase is right.
I
I think
am.
Chase is right because his 3-bar was down. His 3-bar was down. Why would you want to block your own potential shot?
what I find interesting is here is Blake looks like he's not even trying. Ooh, that was nasty. He thinks he's Brandon Munoz there with that. Yeah, that's what he
I
was
don't
trying
think,
to do before.
Yeah. I think when you're this comfortable, when any master is this comfortable, not feeling any sense of intimidation or urgency, it's a dangerous place to be
Yeah,
for
it's
the opponent, obviously,
it's a bad
because
place
free
to be.
will- Yeah.
100%. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants because he has no fear.
Tony, can you move that match to table 2, please? All right, everybody.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. He's just kind of freewheeling. He's doing whatever he wants. I mean, he's just shooting push kicks and quick middles. And
Tony's Freeman written down. It's on table number 2.
we might see him try and pick up his game here, though, in a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He's not going to if he doesn't lose the game. He's not going
Right.
to.
Very
the winner
true.
of this plays Kane.
Yes.
So with that in mind, I don't know. Who knows what's in the mind of a master?
Think of it this way, right? And I'm not trying to, diss Clint Hill here, but it's like if you're playing somebody, and this is everybody that understands foosball will understand this a little bit. If you play somebody that has never played foosball before, okay, ever, and you are just say a rookie on tour, it's an unfair matchup, right? You can just do whatever you want, and they just basically have no clue what you're doing. That's the gap between Clint and Blake to some degree. Just because, and that's how Blake feels about it, because you can tell in his game style. He's just going to do what he feels like he needs to do, which is not a lot, until he's being tested or the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Which
is a high level.
Yeah.
It's a high level because Clint had to play reasonably well to get here. So
Yes.
I don't know if Clint's a pro or an expert, but if he's an expert, he's playing at a high expert level to arrive here. I mean, he beat Jacob Balkos, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want to put way too much into it, but he's playing reasonably well to arrive here. And Blake's just kind of like, if you're having your best day ever, I think I could beat you with my B game.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
what
exactly
you're
what's
saying
going on.
what you're saying is one of my favorite words is stratification, and a lot of people don't see this, but you see this in a classroom a lot. There's always that one, those two kids, that one kid that's always going to just be excelling for whatever reason. Then there's that bell curve thing in the middle, and then there's me at the back behind all the rest of them, just wondering what the hell's going on. And I'm
You just tried to club him.
yeah, go clubbing. Wait, what? Club him? Is
Yeah.
this after dark? It's not after dark technically. We can't.
No, it's even stated in the top right hand corner
No,
after
I
dark.
know, but I think the placard's wrong because After Dark technically starts at 10 p.m. local time at the venue.
Oh yeah, then we're well, I think they
Well,
just said
let's restart the
chases
whole
in this. Chases in this, we gotta keep it.
Are you in Oceanic time?
Me?
Yeah. No, never mind. I'm trying to say as many things as I can to get Tommy Brewer to message me. He always messages me things that are very nice.
How is he messaging you? Is he messaging you in text or private
No,
message?
we just do straight ESP now. I got a line straight into his
That's
mind.
good.
It's Facebook
So
Messenger.
Blake hasn't even gone pull
Dude,
side yet. That's how you know Blake's not trying.
By the way, the Beachtown Beatdown this year is on July 8th. And if there's one tournament I wanted to go, there's two tournaments I wanted to go to all year: the World Cup in Nantes, France, and the Beachtown Beatdown. Now Thunderdome, obviously, but if there's a tournament you want to go to, it's the Beachtown Beatdown on July 8th in Florida, probably Lake Worth. That's just a party. It's a great tournament. Adam, you got to go to that tournament.
It's
Yeah,
in
no, I
Tampa,
want
right?
to.
Actually, no, it's in Lake Worth, which is south.
How far south of that?
You know, I failed geography.
Dang.
I think it's like
You're all Arizona-y?
Oh, okay.
I think it's 5 hours south.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I have no idea.
That's fair.
They were Blake was selling timeouts to Tommy Atkins.
Yeah.
I've heard about that,
That was awesome.
which I would as well. That would be
Is
great.
that Trevor Park? Back
I
there
do not see
behind
him.
Clint Hill Sr.? I
Looking.
can't see. I
Probably.
saw a visor.
Wow, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's him. That's definitely Trevor.
What's he
100%.
doing there?
I don't know, just hanging out. He didn't
What
play
are
open
these
singles.
No, he wouldn't.
He should.
He should, but he won't.
Trevor's a trippy dude.
He's a complicated man. What is he? He's an enigma wrapped inside of a breakfast burrito, wrapped inside of a
It's like a breakfast burrito.
yeah.
He's probably got at any one time, if he's at a foosball tournament, if Tony's there, he's got the number 2 5 bar in the room. If
That's
Tony's
true.
not there, he's probably got the best 5 bar in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
His 5 bar is so beautiful.
It really is. So he was my first master beat ever,
Oh.
and I never blocked his 5 bar once.
No. What'd you do? Did you pay him out? How'd you win?
I never missed a shot.
Okay, well that does it. Oh, is this a singles thing?
No, it was doubles.
Okay. Well, we got a 4-4 game here. Without Blake really turning it on, though, still shooting left hooks.
Yeah, he hasn't. I think he's shot maybe 2 snake shots so far. Everything else has been kind of a funsy shot. Oh, good save. This is the point where Clint Hill really needs to like come alive and do something big.
It's a monumentally
in
huge
this.
possession. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Blake's going to try a little bit here. It's not going to be 100%. It's going to be like in that 80% range. Ooh. Mistake. You can see it all over Blake. He's mad about it. Oh, just call a timeout.
Timeout.
Call a timeout, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. The announcers are calling for a timeout.
DJ Breezy. Trevor Park is texting me something, actually. Let's see.
Ask him.
I wonder if he's listening. Is he listening
can
to
he
the
hear
show?
us?
listening. He's
How
not
is he listening to this?
He
No,
said-
there's no way.
Yeah, he can listen.
He said-
Oh, no.
Ouch.
What happened? I didn't see it.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Misexecuted, hit the wall, hit the sidewall, went in his own goal.
Yeah.
2-1 Blake Robertson.
Of course. Give the master the break, right? Of
Yeah, I
course,
know,
the
right?
master needs the break.
Oh!
That's what happens.
No, it goes to his 5. It goes to... Oh. Okay. Technically, because of how that went down, it should have gone to his 5 bar.
Okay, I need Bill Frazier at table number 4. Bill Frazier, you're on table 4.
So Trevor is sending me these texts. He said,
Those are your table 5.
yo, I was just asked if I was going to serenade everyone this weekend. They also asked if I brought my microphone. My reply was, that's a different weirdo. So I wonder if people think they're talking to Mark Torres.
They clearly
I don't
think
know what's going on there.
it's you are him and he is you.
Poor Trevor.
Oh, she said I totally thought you were Mark.
Who?
I
The person she's
who
talking
did
to
this?
right
don't know.
now?
I'm asking him.
Tell her
I'm
we
asking
can
Trevor
watch.
who was it.
Table 29.
Tell him we watch.
Richard. Richard Williamson.
He's gonna tell me right
Is that
now.
Hannah?
Someone confused Trevor for me.
Was it
Some
Hannah?
blonde girl. I can't remember her name actually.
Oh, he would know
You
Hannah.
can't. Is there a blonde there?
No, he
There
doesn't
is.
know. Sometimes, no, dude, check it out. Trevor will call me and be like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about what's his face. What's his face was talking to me, and I'm like, who are you talking about? And he'll be like, Mark, and I'm like, Mark, you've known Mark for like longer than I've known Mark. What do you mean, what's his face? But he does that about everybody. So I think he
Yeah,
says that about
weird.
me too. Does he do that?
He's a weirdo, dude. So I love that guy.
He's a
But
He's
weirdo.
just
I love that.
what he said.
strange.
Let me tell you two stories.
No.
First of all, he said a blonde girl walked up to him and said, "Are you going to sing to everyone this weekend?" And Trevor said, "I don't have a microphone." And she said, "I totally thought you were Mark." He said that just happened. But here's the funny thing. It's a true story.
It was Hannah Smith.
Sam Harper. Oh, Hannah? Really? So Sam Harper was following me around for 3 days with a poster. And on the last day of the tournament, he said, "Hey, man, can you sign this? Sign my poster? Sign it. Hey, Sam, Trevor Park." And I'm like, I signed it Trevor Park because he thought he was following Trevor Park around for 3 days.
You two are not doppelgangers by any means.
Not even by a remote stretch of the
You're way
imagination.
better looking. I'm way
Maybe
better
it
looking than
depends.
that dude,
Maybe it depends on the lens in which they're looking through.
for sure. It's another funny story. Trevor Park used to get really dark in the summer. And another weekend, like in the mid-'90s, like 95, like 4 Indian dudes followed Trevor Park around the whole weekend. They thought Trevor Park was Indian the whole weekend. True story. Foosball after dark, you guys.
I guess. Hey, Alan Montrone said Lake Worth is 4 hours from Tampa. Thank you, Alan.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
for letting me know. I was hoping I'd be able to fly into Tampa, but that's not the case.
I went to the only time I've been to Florida was once in my life, and I was in Orlando. So apparently, it's a large state with a bunch of different areas.
Relatively.
I'm going to text Trevor right now. I'm on the broadcast, and I just told the story when the Indian dudes followed you around all weekend.
Yeah, and tell him that we watched that conversation go down to the text message.
We did. So it was.
That was
so
it.
he was over there talking with Hannah. So if it had
was.
happened right then, it was Hannah Smith.
Yeah, well, Hannah
Which
was
I'm
probably-
going to send Hannah a
text
Facebook
Hannah.
message.
yeah.
I'm going to send
when you
Hannah a
did that-
Talking
Facebook
to
message
Trevor.
that says we're no longer friends.
I'm gonna message.
Hannah's
her,
too busy like hunting and shooting things to deal with you.
She's there, right?
Yeah, she's there.
You're up on table 6.
I'm sending her a Facebook message right now that I'm
Him too.
unfriending her.
Ben Dillon, you're up on table number 8.
So I think we should just start calling this like. We should all start getting together and just calling it washed up, because we're 3 washed up pros. And what?
No, Mark and I are reuniting at Hall of Fame. We're gonna make a pro doubles run.
Have you ever played Mark? Ever?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever played against him?
Yeah. How'd that go, Mark?
Okay, Chase.
Mark, how'd that
Let
go
me
when
tell
I
you,
played
Chase
you?
has, hold on, freak. Chase has a very narrow sense of history. He has no
Yeah, I
clue.
know.
Like he has
Yeah, I
a very
know.
I don't know. What you started in 05, Chase? Like when did you start?
04.
Like
Carlos.
he started
Tournaments in 04.
and then his whole historical knowledge ends in like 07. So it's like 3 years of knowledge.
Oh,
Like,
09.
He made a career out of it.
09.
He's made a career out of it.
I've made a career of it, and you know
gotta
what?
Be known for something.
I know I'm right.
Jim Robinson, you're up on table 20.
And then I sold you a foosball table, and I know how that went
Yeah.
down.
10 minutes.
It's sitting in it's sitting in my basement collecting dust because I never touched the damn thing.
Jim Robinson.
Sounds about right.
Adam, you really want me to answer that question? I have no problem answering it. So I've only ever played 2 open doubles. No, I've only ever played pro doubles twice until like 2017, where I don't know why I played again. And when I played pro doubles, the 2 times I played it, it was brand new. It was a brand new event, and I didn't have any respect for that event because I'm an open doubles guy. It was just pro doubles participation trophies crap. And I took first in one, and I took second. I took first at the Hall of Fame and second at the Worlds, and with 2 different partners. And that's
a
all we
good
need
run.
to say, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. What a run. Looks like the match is over. Speaking of runs, just to put a bow tie on that though, Mark. Well, what about Hall of Fame, huh? This year,
Let's go.
pro doubles. Yeah.
As long as we don't
playing
mind.
foosball.
Here are the
I
rules.
was gonna say, Mark's rules for playing
Wait, hold on.
foosball.
Here are the rules. Here are the rules. Here are the rules. Here are the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You cannot practice. You cannot
Done.
practice before the event.
Done.
You got to drink anytime I say you got to drink, and I get to make all the calls. So if you're hot, you're on fire, and I tell you to get in the back and play goalie.
You're doing
Also, if we get called to the booth, we got to abandon our match whenever it is, and I will sponsor you. I will pay your entry fee if you agree to all this. But you cannot touch a table once. No practice.
Once.
And I will
Oh,
play
not
with you.
you mean just practice? I can.
You can play draw your partner if you want to have some fun.
No, I'm not going to play
But
in a
you
draw.
can't-
I'm just. I'm going to Dan Tybal's next weekend, and we're going to play pickup games. That's nothing. All right, it's done.
Oh my.
All right, hey dude, it's on. Let me tell you what's funny about
my.
this. Adam and I will play Pro Doubles, the Hall of Fame Classic, and we will ruin the weekends for a lot of pros that practice their tail off. I don't think we can win it. Maybe if we get really drunk, but other than that, we're just going to ruin some weekends without any practice. That's what's going to happen.
Wow. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
The only beer for foosball.
Well, Blake pretty much did what we expected him to do in that match.
Yeah.
He's posing right now. Look at him. He's such.
Yeah.
He's
such an
100%
ego
This is
man.
why I
posing.
have so many photos of him. Look at him. This is just who's there? There's nobody there. He's just doing this. He's munching.
He's slowly taking his wraps off. He's legitimately looking at the camera right now.
He's gonna pull out
Look
a
at him.
comb and start doing his hair like Fonzie.
I need to text him right now.
Yeah.
Be like, dude,
He's like
we can
the
see
amazing
you.
thing. He's not in the center. He's off in the on one of the thirds because he knows that's the best angle. That's ridiculous.
It's
Let
unbelievable.
let me tell you what. Listen, let me stop you guys. This is why I adore Blake. I really love that guy, and here's why.
Me
He's
too.
actually very insecure, and he's very self-conscious in the sweetest of ways. I mean, the guy is he has a whole facade thing, but at the end of the day, he wants to know that he's liked. He wants to be liked. He wants to know he's respected, and I think those are all really kind of admirable qualities of I don't know. He's a cool dude. I like Blake a lot.
Wow.
I love Blake.
That was weird. That was like
I play video games with Blake. I like the guy.
Dude, I'm not the one taking pictures of him. I'm not the one taking pictures of him all the time, dude.
I have a whole folder full of gifts that I made too.
Don't make it weird.
That's totally normal.
So weird, dude.
All right, so we're gonna
No.
get Blake Robertson and King Gabriel.
Yeah.
That's coming up here soon.
King Gabriel, of course, being
Adam.
one of the more what?
I gotta ask you one more question. Do you have a bunch of pictures on your wall of Blake that are connected by string and push pins?
Ooh.
What color string?
Red.
Different color string.
It's red, right?
Oh,
Tell me
just
it's
multiple
red.
colors? Then no,
Pink.
no, not those colors.
Can
And
you
there's
take a
definitely
picture?
no pink. No,
Oh,
actually, I've
dude.
got one of those. I've got a Miro board of Blake, so that's totally updated it. Miro, Miro. Check it out. It's a really good tool for visualizing.
I have
projects.
I have a diorama of Blake
Really?
facts.
Is it like a
Yeah.
cotton ball, and it's just like a snowstorm? Folks, this is a tour kickoff here in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Adam Gilson. This is Mark Torres, and there's Chase Pennell. Is it Pennell? Pennell.
Right.
Pennell?
So I'm gonna let everybody in on the real secret.
It's
Oh, boy.
It's penal.
It's Pennell. It's actually
Pennell.
pronounced Pennell.
Yeah.
But Jim has been calling me Pennell for so long that I
feel like
just let it
everything
ride.
sounds French.
So I have not even I've adopted it as my name. Just
Because of
for
Jim?
him and everything that is inside Foos. So
Wow.
it's Chase Pennell.
That's funny.
Chase
Hey, did you get any?
Chase Pinot.
Mark, did you get any definitive,
Tina.
alternative, reliable confirmation from Hannah about that conversation?
I sent her a message said, "Did you just confuse me for Trevor Park? We can no longer be friends." And she didn't respond yet. So we shall see.
Do I have to text her?
shall
She may just
see.
ignore you.
Yeah, text her.
Alright.
Text her and say, "Hey, did you just?" Trevor sent me another text too. What do you say here? what did Trevor say? Where she's the blonde. She's the blonde watching Blake Robertson's match wearing a blue jacket. Was that
Yeah,
Hannah?
that's Hannah. That's 100% Hannah. Yep.
Trevor is so
Okay.
funny. These two are just operating a different level. Man, are you typing super fast and upset? That's angry typing.
Upset, dude. No, that's not angry typing. That's normal typing. You want to hear me type
No,
fast?
Wait, was that you,
beg to
Chase?
differ.
I thought that was Mark.
Listen. No. It's yeah. Someone just sent me a Facebook message that said, "Is it Chase Pennell like Pennell enlargement?"
Absolutely.
Okay, like Pennell enlargement. Okay, like
Yep.
the ads that Adam gets bombarded with because he clicked one time on something, and now
All it takes is
he
once.
gets-
No, I was just cleaning out my
Pennell
spam
enlargements.
folder, by the way,
Just to do
Yeah.
this.
just to do this.
Just to be here with us.
Just,
I
yeah.
should probably click my spam just in case.
Shout out to
He has
Ashley
a-
Lasitra, the great producer, on boots on the ground there, doing this.
No
for
kidding.
us.
She's actually killing it. I got to give it to her.
Yeah. The stream is smooth and clear as a crystal lake. You'd almost want to drink from it.
It's very enjoyable. I'm digging the way that we can all be in different places and enjoy this conversation and foosball all at the same time.
I don't know. Enjoy is a strong word, but yeah, we are in different
Maybe not
places.
you, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I am too. I'm sorry. Mark just brings out the worst in me. I don't know why.
Oh, he does this with everybody.
Yeah.
And I love Mark.
That's my whole
That's the
goal.
thing. Yeah, I love Mark.
My thing. It's what I try to do. So here's my problem. Here's my problem with what Hannah just did. Are there only really like two minorities in all of foosball that you can confuse me and Trevor with? Is there anybody else in the room? Is she just like all the Filipinos look alike?
Okay,
Is that what
okay.
just happened?
First off, let's all get on the same page real quick. Hannah has nothing else to do tonight. She's out of open mixed. She can't play, I think, expert singles or rookie singles. She's out of open singles. All the other women's events are done. So she's probably just drinking, which I commend her for. So yeah, I get it. A little blurry. I could argue that you guys kind of look similar at times. You're both kind of short.
There's like, oh my god, that's totally racist.
It's racist? Oh. Because you're short.
I
Oh my god, that's the most racist thing. Ashley, by the way, is also our HR, and I'm gonna file whatever.
who's Deli Master? That's really cool. Do you actually have a deli? Oh, hey, that's a
Leave her
Twitch.
alone.
I think a Twitch stream.
Yeah, that's my Twitch. Yeah.
Who's
That's,
Deli Master?
that is one of the local foosball players here.
Do they have
Deli Master?
access to prosciutto?
I think they do have prosciutto.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty
God.
sure.
I'm a cured meats are like
Dude,
all I care about.
So Deli Master, who I'm not going to give away who it actually is because I think that's just I don't need Mark harassing them as well. But they're saying to leave Hannah alone,
Well,
which Mark will never do.
I actually, Hannah really likes me, and I really like Hannah, and that's why I'm so upset that she got me confused with Trevor.
she
So
was
we're gonna have to
probably
give her
making
help.
she was probably making a joke. Oh, hey, by the way, Mark,
no,
I
that
heard
can't be.
that fake place that we didn't get a chance to go to that's there now, that Sedona place, is actually quite good.
I heard that too. Well, I didn't hear it's good. I heard it's open, but I would believe you if it's good.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, hey, Chase Pennell,
Yes, sir.
are you still doing some promoting out in Tennessee? You got anything going on? What's happening out there?
So it's slowed down a little bit at the moment. We do still we've been doing some like local little thing get-togethers, but I have to give it all up to Thomas. Thomas is the guy that runs everything down here. He's the one that has come up with that really cool like what we have deemed the chip system. Some people call it like the casino system for local foosball. I am such a fan of what he has done locally. I always try and come out to whenever he's doing an event. It's truly, I think, the only way to go out and have fun foosball again. as a pro, and I know this because you guys are both pros, and tell me
You're
I'm not
not a
wrong.
pro, but anyway, go
I'm
ahead.
not a pro?
You're not
Okay.
a pro, but go ahead.
That's fair.
No.
Why not? But if going to like a local DYP is boring, like it's not fun. I'm sorry, I don't like them at all. I find them brutal, and it's usually what everybody has is like a local DYP. That's how local foosball's played, and that he uses this chip system, like this betting system, that allows everybody to kind of just have fun, pick up games. It's like classic foosball where you put up quarters, so to speak, and play whatever team's on that table. And I find it to be a lot more fun and enjoyable, and you can just go and have fun foosball again. So they do that every Tuesday.
That's cool. By the way, I owe Hannah an apology. Trevor said it's not Hannah. He got confused. It's a blonde gal named Betty. And Betty, I don't know you. You don't know me, so I forgive you for confusing me with Trevor Park. Whoever you are, I don't care. I thought it was Hannah, who Hannah should know better. Too. But Betty, sorry, Hannah and Betty. I don't know who you are, but
glad that we got
excited to meet you one day.
through that controversy. Mark, why do you think Chase is not a pro?
I just got some messaging, but
because he just hates on me.
No.
Oh, actually, listen. No. I just got a private message. This is true. I won't name the person, and he said that his partners carry him. He's a pro partner picker.
Ooh, I like
Chase
that.
is?
What has he done? What has he done to earn pro in some? I'm reading somebody else's messages right now.
Is this about me?
Let's get into it, man. It's
Is
about
this
you.
about
Yeah,
me?
what? It's about
Oh, beautiful.
Chase Pennell.
Okay.
What has
So do we
Chase
wanna
Pennell
go
done
through
to
it?
earn pro?
First off, I would 100% agree. I am a pro partner picker. So we can start with I won pro doubles with an amateur goalie as an expert. Does that count?
When?
No,
2009.
That's one event. What was the event?
Tour kickoff 2009.
Where?
So it was
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah. So this event in 2009.
Oh, the tour kickoff in 2009?
Yeah. Yes.
So
No.
you won one event. What else have you
No.
done?
Well, I have to go look. So any state titles don't work though, right? You don't assume state titles is a thing. So like Wisconsin State Open singles doesn't matter.
I mean, it's a body of work thing
Right.
if you're looking at it to some degree. But I mean, what majors? What events have you won at majors? I guess is really.
I mean, I took third this year in pro singles at Worlds.
Okay.
So do you think that makes you a pro? Do you think third in pro singles at Worlds makes you a pro? Honest to God.
So. True talk, right? A field of 154 players.
Yeah.
I think third place in pro singles says that you are in the pro category. Sure, yes. If you place top 5 in pro singles at Worlds, the World Championships, you're probably a pro player. Probably. And then there's crickets.
Yeah, whatever. So I don't know how to answer that because I have a bias that I want to be honest about. My bias is
I get it.
When I was playing pro doubles, I was playing like the top. I mean, I beat Rob Atha in pro doubles final in a major, not by myself with my partner, but I didn't have any respect for it back then. So here I am playing the top, like these guys that are like the top pros about to be master, and beating them and thinking this event is trash. So I had no respect for it in 2005. I'm not going to respect it now. That's my construct, though. That's my bias. So if you want to legitimize the pro category, go ahead, Adam.
No, I think, but what you're talking to is not wrong, Mark. And I think that what you're saying also is, to a certain degree, not wrong either, Chase. But I think, Mark, what you're talking about is a much larger, bigger picture of where the pro category fits in the grand scheme of skill level, skill set at that time frame, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What I believe, this is why I won pro doubles. Adam will tell you because he was my partner. I picked that trophy for 3 seconds because someone forced me to take a picture, and I put the trophy down and left it on the stage. That's what happened with that. And here's why. I felt like it was a participation trophy back then. I felt like elite doubles or whatever the hell that was a participation trophy. I just think it's like, hey, you guys can't beat Tony, so let's create an event for you to win. I think the whole thing is a construct that's fake. So I don't have
understand.
Any.
I totally get that, and I understand it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're only referring to open titles, then I only have state titles on top of that, right? I have open titles at state events. multiple open doubles, mixed doubles, and open singles at state level. So do I consider though? I would argue that even like any of those state titles are below the third place at pro that I got this year at Worlds. That would be my argument.
Yeah. Well,
just because of the field.
Do you think? Oh, let me ask you this question: do you think you have any chance in hell of winning an open singles major?
No, definitely not. Not against. Not at the moment. In the future, do I think so? Probably. Yeah, I would put myself in that category.
So,
at this moment, no.
So let me ask you another question. If I took the lowest pro ranked players and put you all in an expert singles with the top experts. So not just you. I'm talking about whoever
I know what you're talking about.
The bottom, scraping the barrel of the pros, what I call paper pros, and put them in an expert category. How many times are you going to win expert singles?
Me? If you put me in with the bottom pros, I'm just asking. If you take me, put me with the bottom pros as well as all of the experts, how many times am I winning expert singles?
I'll tell you. We can tell. We already know.
Is that the question?
We already know the answer though, because you took third.
What just happened?
Something.
What?
It cut out for a second. So, in my opinion,
go ahead.
Yeah, we're having some stability issues. In my opinion, I win that 75% of the time.
I would love to see it. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, there's a couple questions that are in the chats that I want to address. One is, what are the majors? I think this is a good way to kind of normalize what we're talking about. The majors are going to be Hall of Fame, Texas State, Nationals,
World
Colorado
Championships.
State, Texas State, Tornado Championships, right? Those 6.
Yeah. Do you consider back in the day, U.S. Open? Do you still consider that a major?
I'm just talking now.
It's tough.
Okay.
Yeah. It's tough. Yeah,
I would say there's.
I agree.
I'd say there's 6 majors now, but then the next question before that was, Mark, what's your definition of a master? Is it a world title, or does it have to be multiple titles?
Multiple major wins is what Mark considers that.
Yeah. I don't think you're a master unless you have, for sure, like one open major world championship. I would probably qualify you as a master with one open major. But if you don't have an open major world championship, I'd consider like 3 open major championships. 3 would make you a master.
Which would only allow for there to be like 3 masters right now. 4 masters. Like there's not many.
No, you could do the math. No, I think it's more like 13. But even then, what's wrong with that? Why do you need more than 5 masters or 7 masters in the whole world? Why do you need more? Give me a reason.
No, I wouldn't disagree with that statement, to be honest with you. And I'm fine with that as long as. But here's the problem, right? And I'm fine with if they want to redo the ranking system. I'm totally cool with it. But preset it. Say there's only going to be 10 masters. There's only going to be 30 pros. Whatever the number is, make the number. I don't care. And as long as there's like a standard for it, and you say this is how many there's going to be, I'm all for it. But as long as there's like a points thing, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah. So I feel validated in having this conversation because my body of work is out there somewhere. It can be found. It can be.
Yeah, it's amateur doubles.
Figured out, and I have pro wins and a second in pro when it actually had a robust, like the field that I played pro in was like 10x the field you play pro in. The field I played pro in 2005, the players were way better. It was way deeper.
I don't know
way
about
more
that.
Players. That's the bottom line. Adam was my partner.
I was playing against Daniel Coulter, Blake Robertson, and a plethora of people. Oh, Kane Gabriel, Mario Aguinaldo. I mean, the whole crew was there. So that's not the same. Like, you can't argue that those people were the people you were playing are significantly better because they didn't exist anymore.
Okay, let's not make that argument. Let's make that argument. Let's not make that argument. I will say this:
because you're wrong.
when I play, I can, but I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my breath. I don't want to waste my breath. Let me finish my thought, Adam, and then I want you to
go.
I don't think I'm a pro.
That's fair.
There's no way you're a pro, Chase.
That's fair.
I don't think I'm a pro.
But that's the thing. if nobody's a pro, then that's
hold on,
fine.
and my body of work. Well, I'm not a pro, and my body of work is way bigger than yours. I have
Because you had
ninth-place
Billy as your
finishes
forward.
in open doubles in the '90s. In the '90s, and I have a ninth place finish as Chuck Moore as my goalie at the Worlds. I have way more. My body of work destroys yours, and I'm not a pro. That's why I feel like very strongly saying you're not a pro. Anyway, Adam, go ahead. What do you got?
I was just going to say, I mean, you did list a lot of really good players, but at that time that they were playing, they weren't that good, and that does make a difference.
You mean
I
me?
mean, I played those guys and was beating them back when in the height that I was playing. When I think the field was deeper, there was more teams to be beating versus 2004, 4, 5 versus 2009, 10. Now, of course, they all went on to much bigger things, but what you see them doing, they're still playing in a drastically smaller field than anything before them, even in the open events. I'm not talking about me. I wasn't playing the open events, or that wasn't really my thing. But I'm just saying it's not really a one-to-one thing. Oh,
Definitely
Master
not.
has a follow-up. Colorado Hall of Fame, Texas Worlds Nationals are all majors, but Florida State, is that a major?
No, Florida's not.
No,
No,
Florida's
I
not
don't
a
think
major.
so.
Let's
No,
define a major. Lots of money, over 300 players, and countrywide draw-ish, right? Would that be loosely fast and loose? Because a regional would be 2 states over, 3 states over, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think the majors. I think Colorado and Texas they draw like 400 people.
Yeah, they get big.
What was the
time
other
two,
fields.
and then
There was 6, though, right? What was the 6th?
there were, well, back in the day, when in the '90s, it was the U.S. It was the tour kickoff was huge. The
Yeah,
U.S.
it used
Open,
to
the
be
Nationals, the Masters, the Worlds, and then the Hall of Fame. But the Masters, these were big tournaments. It was back when there was an actual tour and people followed around. They were called the majors because everybody congregated at them. The quote-unquote majors now, like Kentucky's a regional. Kentucky
Yeah.
is the tour kickoff. Kentucky
But
State,
back when it
but
was
it's
the
a
tour
regional. It's
kickoff,
not
it was
really a.
better. Like back when it was
Um,
the Super Bowl of foosball, back when we're talking,
Yeah.
2006, 7, 8, it was a bigger event than it is now.
Folks, this is an open singles losers bracket for 4th. Blake Robertson versus Kane Gabriel. We've been having lively debate while we're waiting for this to start. I'm Adam Gilson. There's Mark Torres.
You know
and
what, Chase? You know I love you. Chase,
Oh,
you
dude,
know
I
I
love
love
you
you.
too.
You know I love you.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing: but if you're going to discount, and this is the thing, like, and the way you put it. So this is when I agree with you, is when you're going to take like the class of pros that are today and just push them down a degree. I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Because because the argument is then there was only one pro in the entire pro field then at the Worlds this year, and that was Brandon Munoz. That would be the argument. And if it's the
Maybe.
case, then I agree with you.
No, I don't like no. Let me put it this way: if Brandon Munoz has 3 pro wins or whatever, remember my thing's arbitrary. It's an example. My thing,
For
what
sure.
I think is, if you get 3 pro wins or whatever, you should be in the. I don't know how he did it. Does he have expert wins? Does he have a bunch of expert wins? Then he should probably be a pro. But I'm going to be honest
fair.
about this and transparent about it. I have a bias that goes back 30 years. My bias is there was only 4 categories: rookie, amateur, novice, and pro, open, and that's where I come from. So all these other categories are trash to me, and they're not trash to you because you grew up with them. I mean, when you started, there was a pro division, so it's part of your filter. It's part
Actually,
of your
there
construct.
wasn't.
It's not part
Was
of
there?
mine. Well, then,
I don't think there was a
Yeah,
pro
there was.
division when I started. There was an expert, but no pro. I don't think.
Expert. When did you start?
Okay,
I
well,
thought you started
it's
playing
absolutely
in
not-
04.
I started playing in 04, but I don't think
There was
pro
no expert.
existed.
Just
no, because there
semi-pro.
was
No, expert was a thing for sure. Because USTSA
Well, Adam
and
and I won in 05, and that might have yes.
USTSA
okay.
and IFP were 2 separate things. They had their 2 separate tours. They had 2 separate point systems back then. So, and that stayed that way until 2009, maybe 2010.
Rivers 820 is saying there wasn't Chase. Unless Rivers is referring to, are you saying that there was expert, but there was the IFP tour?
Yeah. I'm referring specifically to the
Something
IFP
like
tour.
that.
Because
Yes.
the IFP tour didn't have the same, goals
Correct.
that- so
Well,
it
they also
wasn't.
didn't
so
have the same point system. It was totally different.
yeah, but it didn't have. Yeah.
But before we get too far away from this, I want to qualify something, because we are all prone to have our own romantic memory, all of us, and I'm being honest about that. And in my memory, which is fallible, the pro division was deeper and had a higher quality players 15 years ago than it does now. But fortunately, we have Adam here. And Adam, if you say right now the answer is no, then the answer is no. If the answer is yes, you're fallible too. It could be some romantic memory. But what is your memory of playing pro in 2005 versus what it is now?
Well, it was a lot deeper, and I think that the game is a lot more. Let me think about that. I have to really think about that, Mark,
Yeah.
because I want to
Yeah.
give you a proper answer, and I don't want to just talk out my ear hole. So let me come back to you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So-
I think that's a really good
You know,
question.
I appreciate that. Let me tell you why I appreciate that. He's struggling with it because he doesn't want to be dishonest with himself. He doesn't
Right,
want to
I need
say, "Yeah, 05 was way better."
Well, because think about it,
05
right?
was amazing, and I don't want.
What do I get?
You
Yeah,
know
I
why?
can-
Because we're one degree away from being Johnny Lott.
We are.
Also,
No,
Johnny Lott. Like
Well,
the
I
best
mean,
side
no,
in the
that's
70s.
no, but you're
Yeah.
not wrong. Like, I don't want to
No,
say
he's not.
that because all it's gonna. Well, sure, but yeah, but but Mark is right. Like, if I start saying that's the best time for pros in the last 20 years, then who does that benefit
Yes,
most?
yes.
Me,
Right.
and I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
And I
only
need to-
it's all about ego at that point.
and I'm soul searching for me because I know the conflict in my head is it was definitely much deeper. The brackets, I was looking at some of the brackets we went through with Hall of Fame. There was probably over near 200 teams, maybe a little bit more in pro doubles. It's a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like the game is a lot more what's the word? Not complicated. It's a lot more.
No,
What?
no. I think what you're saying, Adam, the skill level is more concentrated at a higher level. 15
Right.
years later,
Yes.
it's
I mean, look
probably
at-
true. The
Yeah, but
concentration
and
of
look
skill.
at look
But,
at look at
go
look
ahead.
at the finals match here. Like the best players are in the it's the, like the 7 or 8 the top 7 or 8 of a 61 team field in open singles at this event. You know, and I think that speaks to kind of what we're talking about. But as far as the level of skill and ability, I have to think about that just a little bit because I don't think you're wrong,
Yeah.
Mark. But I can't. I've got skin, and I've said this before. Whenever I have skin in the game, when I don't have skin in the game, it's easier for me to stand back and be like, oh, okay, this, and that. But when I know that I'm personally involved in what I'm going to say, I have to really think about it.
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah.
help
I
just a
respect it.
skosh, because there were no majors on the IFP tour back then. So, and I'm talking from 2004 to about 2010. Okay, no, 2009. Whenever she took it over, and there was USTSA, right? That was like Worlds, the Vegas event,
FIFA.
which was right, Texas, and a couple other events, right? And that only had 3 divisions. That had amateur, semi-pro, and open. That was it. And then Mary had beginner, rookie, amateur, expert, and then master, which is a boatload more events. So I understand with 100% certainty that the argument, I could even make it, that USTSA events back then were more difficult than IFP events up until about like 2000, I think it was 2008 when she took over the World Championships. Okay? So do I agree that the USTSA events had way more of a field and were probably significantly more difficult than any IFP event around that timeline? 100%. I think without question that is true. I think they had deeper fields. I think they had better players. I think more people showed up from other countries even more
Oh yeah.
then, right? Because I remember when the Canadians started
Yeah.
coming down, they started beating everybody. They had groups of people from Europe coming over with different styles of play that were beating everybody. And I think without question, the general strength of the events were better. With that said, there was a time around 2008, 2009, things kind of transitioned and Mary kind of took over both tours. That was when she took over Warrior. And then everything kind of switched over to Mary having the tour and Tornado kind of being, weird. And then she took over everything, and it was like 2010, both events came together.
What's comical is in 2008 and 2009, Adam and I couldn't be further away from foosball. We
Exactly.
were as far away from foosball as we could ever be. Like no zero. Like I'm in Hong Kong, living
Sure.
in China,
And
Adam
time-
is like in a gutter. Adam is in a gutter
That's-
drunk, by the way, like just
Fair enough.
blackout drunk.
But at that time, people like Blake Robertson, Kane Gabriel, Mario Aganello, and all of this young stud foosball players that are now the guys that you see everywhere were kind of commanding the fields. You know, I took 10 years off right after that. So this is my return, so to speak. So I can't speak much of the timeline in between. But up until about 2009, 2010, I mean, these guys were the up-and-coming top players. You know, they were beasts in their fields, which I think can translate across any era. You know? So were there deeper fields?
It's only like I don't know.
Yes.
I know. Here's how I didn't even watch these guys play much. I know Mario's great. I love him play. I just love his way he plays, and Kane is great. But I think between them, I think Mario and Kane have, I think, one win in doubles. I think Kane may have one with Ryan. I think Mario may have one with Kane. So I think between them, there's only one open doubles major between those guys. Blake just started winning a couple years ago. Of course, Tony's been dominant the whole time.
On the highest level,
you know,
yes.
and then, yeah. So, yeah, that's all.
Blake's always been in the conversation. He's always taken top 3, top 4. Like, Blake's always in there. He just doesn't win it, right? But he's always in the conversation.
Changed about that for 30 years, though. Like, I could tell you, I could say a name. I could say Fernando Rosa or Sergio Aragonés.
Sure.
Those guys were always in the top 3. For decades, they were in the top 3. They never won anything. So I have a very narrow bias. I really don't. I mean, I love everybody. Everybody's great. But unless you're winning championships in Open, and Adam will tell you that I played 2 majors, Hall of Fame and Worlds in pro. I took first in one and second in the other. I didn't practice, and I thought it was trash. And so anything else, like all this other stuff, taking second and third and placing really high is completely unimpressive in my filter. It doesn't mean anything to me, and maybe I'm an asshole for that. I don't know.
Only
it's just
a little
like,
bit.
Look, you got to win championships. You got to win championships in Open, or you're a really good player, and I like you.
No, I get that. If you want to become a legend,
you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. But if you want to become a legend, you got to win. If you want to just be considered a good player, yeah, it's a different thing. Yeah. You know, these 2 guys, they came up as they were in the same rookie fields, they were in the same amateur fields, they were in the same expert fields, they were in the same pro fields. I mean, they have probably played this matchup, I can't tell you how many times. And I was in the same rookie fields as these guys.
Are they playing right now?
They're playing right now. Yeah, this is the very first ball of the very first game. Okay. And I think you're going to obviously see a little bit, you know, of what they're capable of coming up right now. Blake is a monster, so is Kane.
You know what I love about this matchup right now is Kane, on the plus side, Kane moved to Tampa. And
yes.
Kane's like playing with all these guys regularly. Well, on the negative side, Kane moved to Tampa. So these guys they're probably as comfortable as, I mean, they get to see each other play all the time. It's, you know, that creates some interesting feedback loop, right? What does Kane have in his pocket that he gets to use now? And what does Blake, you know, what changes? I think Blake probably has control of this matchup in general, right? Would you say Blake has the upper hand in this matchup?
On paper, 100%. Yeah, I would agree. If you're talking, you know, history and what they've done in singles, I would say that Blake probably comes out on top. Now, what does that mean, you know, when they're actually playing on the table? Who knows? But
what does it mean with Kane with more experience playing in the Tampa scene? It may mean Kane may have, you know, he may have leveled up. We'll just have to see here.
Absolutely. Kane's been dangerous for a long time, but he's been one step off of, you know, the top guys for a while. He's been a master for, probably 7 years now, 8 years now, something like that. Maybe longer, probably closer to 10. But you know, he hasn't probably broken through that very top echelon, and Blake has only done it a couple of times.
Blake doesn't. Blake's had some incredibly high finishes in singles. Went to a lot of tournaments last year, and he gets right there, right? I mean, he beat Tony at beat down, which is nothing like.
It's not a major.
But,
it's not a major mark.
I know. But it was the first time he'd ever beat Tony in like 10 years or whatever, right? So
Longer
he
than
was proud
that.
of it, and I was proud of it for him. Yeah, that's
You say
funny.
10 years is probably closer to 20. But yes,
Crazy, man.
isn't that crazy? But no, I mean, you're 100%
I'm going
right.
blind.
You're going blind.
I think it's 2-1 right now, right? I can't see it that well. I think it's
3-1.
2-1.
3-1.
Oh my gosh. It's called presbyopia. It happens in your 40s.
Oh.
You start losing your near vision.
Yeah, it's been more than that for you, my friend.
Let's see here. Blake is
So-
playing his A game. You notice what he's
Yeah.
not doing? What he did?
Exactly.
Notice what he's not doing
He's
that
not
did
shooting
with
a front
Clint?
pin. Yeah. Everything is different. But I'll argue, I don't think Kane has really like tried to go with his full A game yet. The Kane I remember from so often was a much more controlled, much more precise style. He's kind of seems a little off of his thought process right now, not going as slow as he normally does. But Blake plays fast, right? That's kind of the new era of foosball player is pass fast, shoot fast, and Blake does it well. I think Clay even has timed it, saying he scores better at a lower number, under 5 seconds.
See, here's a funny Blake story. He told me the last time he played Steve Morey, he wanted to die because Steve Morey's game, and Steve Morey beat him in open singles, and this is where you get a funny dynamic, right? The new modern game is a very fast-paced rod to rod transition game, just like you're seeing now. And Steve Morey plays that 70s game, 10 seconds on the 5 bar, 10 seconds on the 3 bar, and he just dissolved Blake. Blake didn't even want anything to do with the match. And that's where styles make fights, right?
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing about foosball. You can be a better player, but it's all about the matchups. It's just like boxing or anything else. Like, it's all about the stylistic matchups that happen on the table to find out who's going to win. I personally, I always bring up Mason Graham. Okay, Mason Graham, if you watch him play, it's brutal, man. Real slow brush series, shoots a real, real methodical rollover. But at Worlds, he dropped off 3 Masters in open singles and ended up taking 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
Right? Solid showing at the World Championships.
He had an awesome run.
Oh my gosh, incredible. But it's because of his stylistic matchups, right? Like, if you probably wrote down, I think he beat Terry Rue, for example. Terry Rue has talent pouring out of, his pores. It's oozing out of that gentleman. You know what I'm saying? But Mason Graham just, worked it. And that's what he did. So it's all about matchups. It's all about style of play, the people you play against. So, and like Kane right there. Blake just shot a 5-bar shot, so Kane tries to shoot one back. 2, for that matter. I think Kane needs to go back to his game and not try and play Blake's fast spot style. What do you think, Mark? Are you still here?
Yeah, no, I'm totally here. I'm trying to open up the chat. I don't know if Blake is into this match. I don't know if he's into it. Blake, no, sorry, the other way around. I don't know if Kane's into the match. Kane usually has a certain level of intensity and focus and aggression, and maybe he's tired, or maybe he's just kind of going through the motions. But you know what I mean?
You're right.
Go
Look
ahead.
at him. Look at the way he's looking. You know how he normally looks at it? He normally looks at the ball like it's the last slice of pizza, and he's going to get to it before anybody else. He's not doing it. He doesn't have that laser focus that he does.
Yeah, I'm like that. That should.
He's not. I see the way that he never stared at it, he never looked at it like he was going to just rip that out of, some kid's hands.
This is a strange game so far, in my opinion. Strange match, I should say. Neither one of them look like they're playing like they should.
Yeah, but and what it speaks to is what foosball is. I mean, foosball is right now kind of an expensive hobby, right? This is not somebody's career where they're out there doing this, every day, and they've got to be into it and get them fired up. Kane's a human being that has a life, and who knows what's going on? I have no idea. You know, it could be anything. It could be food poisoning. You know what I mean? So he's coming back a little bit alive here. But Mark had a good point. You know, he doesn't have that gleam.
Neither of them do, in my opinion, right now.
That's because Blake turns the gleam on when he's feeling like he needs to. I don't think Blake senses predator, so he's not really doing his thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Winner of this plays Jay, correct?
No, winner of this will play the winner of Tony Greg.
Tony Greg, gotcha.
Yep.
Tony, Spreedeman, and Greg. Yeah, Tony's going to stomp
Yeah,
either one of these dudes at this rate.
Go hard in the paint.
He's going to wreck these guys.
You know, this is an interesting matchup. I said it before. I think Blake is the one that comes out on top here, but and I think it's just a stylistic thing more so than anything else. But Blake has much more of a tendency.
Who watched Jay play Tony?
I did.
I did. I watched the whole match.
And Jay was up 2 games.
Yeah.
To nothing at one point, and Tony did what Tony does, but Jay's defense against both against Spreedeman and Kane was excellent.
Incredible.
Not against Munoz.
No.
Jay
won 5-2 in the 5th.
Yeah.
And I think Tony maybe had 12 or 15. I don't know. That's probably a low number. There's probably 15 plus shots in that 5th game. I would say at least, right? Am I crazy on that number?
It was a tremendous amount.
Right? I mean, and he blocked them all. And every time he just ended up with the ball and he'd either score or get it up on his 3. I mean, it was impressive.
I wish I could focus more on this match, but it's two guys playing a pickup game.
Yeah.
And Blake is just Blake's 2 to the 5 is pretty cool. These guys are really just kind of methodical. I don't know. That's the wrong word.
It's weird.
It's just kind of
It's weird. It doesn't. You know what it looks like they're doing? It looks like they're playing like a video game version of themselves.
Yes.
And they're just kind of screwing around. Like they're not in the room. They're still operating at a level that I don't pretend to even be able to do, but still, that
the best thing that can happen right here is Kane. What I'd love to see is Kane win this game and then turn it on.
I can feel it. I feel Kane is about there. The last couple balls, Kane has redialed his focus a touch, and you can see it just on his face. Where if you look at Blake right now, he's not as focused. He's kind of like, maybe. Yeah. But Kane's focused right here. Look at him.
When he leans in that close, look at how close he is leaning. That's the difference.
Yep.
And that was the crispest shot as he's done the entire time. So that does look like a spark. And that's an interesting question. Like I don't know, we're not there, we can't ask him. But why? If that was a slow start, if he's about to turn it on, why? Those are the questions as far as you're improving your game to ask yourself. Why wasn't I into it?
That's it.
What's going on? Now he's walking the ball around.
Yeah,
so
this game's changed.
Blake senses a little bit of the predator-prey relationship happening, and now he's going to come back and go. I don't know, what do the kids say these days? Banana boat or full throttle? Mark, get your Wikipedia out. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know
what the kids are saying these days.
No, I don't either. No, see this? Yeah, he's doing this thing because he does have that. His 3 bar is like a golden Labrador with abs. He can do such amazing things with it. I don't know what that means. Are we after dark? Yes.
We're after dark.
Yes. I knew the second I started talking about Golden Labrador with abs. Yeah.
Blake is so good at that middle. He just nails that. He's been hitting that middle. And, these guys played together at Colorado State. It wasn't a great finish. I don't know if it was in the top 5, but it's not like they don't know each other really well. Blake is just a little bit better right now.
Yeah. Mark, let me ask you something. Blake was not on our top 50, the Foos Talk Live's top 50 greatest players on the American Tour. He wins how many more to get on there? World events, world champs, like singles? Is he going to get a singles to really cement his legacy on that list?
I think it could be easily argued that he should have been on the original top 50 list. That
Sure.
could be argued. But I think if he gets another world title, I mean, that list is going to change, right? The list is probably
Oh,
going
it's
to
going to
change in
change
the
in
next
2 years.
5 to
Yeah.
10 years.
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to change. I mean,
Right.
people that were lower could get moved up, and people that were
Not
lower could get moved out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Blake, I mean, it's tough, right? Blake has a open doubles world title, open mixed world title, and a multi-table world championship that didn't count because it
It
was
does not
top
count.
50 in the U.S.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then all the guys like, what do you do? Like Billy Sumption and like Lane Honeycutt, these guys that were legendary that I don't
Right.
know if there's any video that exists of them.
No.
You know?
But it's to a point though for Blake anyways, because I feel like he is now, I think he just turned 31. He is hitting his prime. This is going to be his prime years if he chooses to continue playing a lot, which
Yeah.
I get the sense he is. This is where he can cement his legacy in the next 5 years.
He might 5-0 Kane right here with
Yeah.
this really kind of lethargic is the word I was looking for earlier.
Right.
Is that Tony? Is that Tony back there watching? Or that's Jay?
No, that's not Jay either. That's
No, see, that's
the guy in the black
it's a
hat.
crossbreed. Yeah, that's Tony and Jay had a baby. Who is that? Are you sure? That's Rick Macias for sure.
Rick Macias.
Well, in an uneventful 4 games,
yeah.
Blake just kind of lazily went through the motions and beat Kane.
It was like
5-0
watching
in the
somebody.
fourth.
It was like watching somebody drinking a daiquiri on an inner tube going down one of those, what do you call it? There's like hotels. They've got those little like roundabout floater.
The lazy river.
Lazy river. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was. It was like watching a lazy
Messed
river.
up.
No, I mean it's not messed up. It's what it was, and
A little
I don't know why. Why is it like that? These are two of the
Um,
premier players.
well-
I'm not saying Blake was playing poorly, but Kane was not there. And
I
I'm just
can
curious why.
partly
He was not
explain this.
engaged.
There's a couple things, right?
Okay.
One being these guys probably play each other every week, right? They're both in Tampa now. They probably play each other all the time. When you play somebody all the time, one, you don't play your normal game. Just because your normal game no longer functions correctly against somebody you play every day. It's like watching. Do you remember watching the old matches of like Todd and Frederic playing each other?
Yeah.
Those are different,
looked-
though.
It
No,
is.
those are
It
different.
is.
No,
It is,
no,
but-
they're
guys
not.
they were on.
Listen,
No,
Listen,
I'm
do you have
gonna
a
tell
brain?
You why. Go ahead.
I'm saying it's not
Yeah,
the
I'm
exact same, but the
you-
concept is the same.
Well, I'll tell you why it's different. Way different. They were splitting. Not the
I
same.
understand that.
I don't think Blake and Kane. Yeah.
I understand
Chase,
that.
What's your? I feel like you were about to hit a point.
Well, the point is when you
Yeah,
play
yeah.
somebody all the time, your normal game doesn't work. And the argument there is that when you play each other all the time, you have to play a different style. And the style that Todd and Fred always would play each other in singles was kind of crazy and over the top. Now, understand the fact that, yes, they're splitting. Yes, they're very good friends. And obviously, they played together. They were partners, which these two are not. But the concept, the idea of it is similar, where Todd's not going to go out there and shoot a pull shot or a rolling pull shot on Fred. It's not going to work. And because they play each other all the time, it's that same concept. They're not going to be able to just roll over. Blake's not going to just set up and go pull side every time.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's that didn't look like Kane. I don't care who he plays. He played everybody in Colorado all the time, and he was still out for blood when he played him. I'm not trying to make a bigger deal of this than it is. We always have weekends, some good, some bad, and we're just not into it. But I'm not.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just a consequence of the fact that they just play each other a lot. But I don't know.
You could be right. Could be a lot of other factors involved. Of
Yeah.
course. They could both have COVID for all we know.
Right. Wow.
Which is the only reason I'm not there. I'm still
Backyard BQ says, "Yo,
You have COVID? You have COVID right now? Oh.
He has COVID. That's why he's not there.
my kids do.
Or somebody has COVID. Yeah.
So I was supposed to leave Thursday
I hope
after
they get-
work
they're
to go
gonna
up to
get
TKO, and
Yeah.
Brooks, my oldest, ended up having COVID that morning, like confirmed that morning. So I'm just like, well, I can't go now. Awesome.
Jim Robertson, you played Trey.
So we have been isolating ever since. Doing the right thing, folks. Doing the right thing.
Oh, that's great, man. That's the right thing.
So we just
How are your
saw
kids
Blake
doing?
Robertson.
Are your kids doing better?
Better. They were never bad to
Sorry, I
begin
was
with.
asking about your kids.
No, they're fine.
Okay.
Brooks was sick for maybe half of a day. He went to sleep, he woke up, and basically then ran through my house like a tornado. So no, he's perfectly fine. It's like nothing ever happened.
Preston Gaio Como, table number 12.
It's pretty impressive.
Saw Blake Robertson beat Kane Gabriel. There's another match going on right now. The Blake will be playing the winner of Tony Spraderman versus Greg Mendel.
Lead results from table 19.
And I'm looking up right now. That's on stream number 2, Inside Foo Stream. I'm gonna look and see what the status of that is. Looks like Greg is up 2-0 in the second, and Greg won the first game.
What? You messing with me?
No. It's 2-1 now. Tony just scored. So I'm going to keep an eye on that for you folks at home if you don't like having multiple tabs open on your browser. But Greg is playing smooth right now, so it might be worth popping over to watch while we wait for something here on table 1. What we're waiting for is for either Blake for Blake to go put in the results.
That may never happen.
So we'll be here. Greg is up 3-1 against Tony, and now he's up 4-1 in the second game.
4-1 in the second game. Dude.
Tony's doing 5-bar hooks. I mean, there's no reason why not to. If you're down 4-1. But Mendel has possession again on 3. Tried to do a straight. Tony raced back with his left hand to block it. Greg just sealed the deal. It's 2-0 in game score, Greg. So
I'm so confused right now.
well, I mean, you know.
So
I don't know.
What's that?
So the person who got me confused with Trevor was Betty Barnett, and
Okay.
Betty walked up to Trevor and asked Trevor to sing her a song, and Trevor was so confused. Everybody was so confused.
Oh,
Oh,
I've heard
man.
Trevor sing too. He's no Mark
Really?
Torres. Yeah, I mean, you know, saying like
Very few people are Mark Torres.
he doesn't do what you do, Mark. You moved me.
Oh,
Hey, they just
man.
called the match.
I'm going to.
Table 1 is going to be rookie singles Jeffrey Miller versus Troy Callahan for
Ooh,
17.
okay. I know Troy. Troy Callahan's, I think he's out of Georgia. Young player.
We got Tony now in the third game is up 2-0. So Tony might go into that. He likes to turn it up to 11 every now and then.
Yeah.
Should tell us about Troy? Who's Troy?
If it's who I think it is, and you know what? Actually, I'm pretty positive it isn't. But let me just double check here.
What? I see a pickup game or something. Is that a
That's
match?
Ellen Moon?
and somebody?
No, that's Ellen Moon versus. That is Jaeger. I know him. He. So there's a point in time that that's Josh Jaeger. So there was a point in time we all did an online trick shot competition when COVID was really heavy, and I got to know both of these people much better. But this is definitely a fun little pickup game.
Giacomo, Trey, table 12.
We would set up like trick shots. It was a cool little thing we did when COVID and you couldn't have foosball. We would set up like trick shots and make the next person like try and mimic the trick shot. It was cool.
Tony's up now, 4-0. Oh, just one with a slingshot, 5-0. So now it's 2-1 in favor of Greg, going to the fourth game.
Yeah,
It's
so-
2-1, Greg Mendel.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 games
Good.
to 1, Greg Mendel.
after it was 2.
I wonder where Tony. Maybe Tony's just not in it right now. I don't know.
It's possible.
It's cold there.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not used to the cold weather. No, he's used to
not.
the cold weather.
No, he's not.
He
Not
grew up
anymore.
in cold weather, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. He has become a true Southerner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were actually talking not that long ago, and he was telling me how his skin has gotten thin. You know, being from Wisconsin and back when he used to wear shorts when it was like sub degrees outside, all of a
Yeah.
sudden he's not the same person anymore.
Table 4 is Brad Ripp, Richard Bennett.
I'm just getting word from Tommy Brewer wondering if Ashton Kutcher is actually filming what's happening on table 2. As in, is it a punk?
Are you getting punked?
Yeah, we don't know. But, you know, Tony still turned it up. Greg Mandel's got
All right, what's
possession.
Is table 2 being recorded right now or not?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's live. It's streaming.
It's live, so it'll be in the thing. So yes, you will have it.
I don't know, folks.
Oh, here it is.
Troy is Trey's
Okay.
dad.
Yep.
says
So
Government.
I was thinking of Trey. Trey is a young kid out of Georgia. Troy Callahan is his father. I'm being told he has a pretty good pull shot. So that should be very interesting.
Joe, table 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who won that match on 9? That's what we want to know.
Our producer Ashley Lasitro says that table 2, in fact, is being recorded, folks. So if
Excellent.
you want to go back and watch this episode of Punked, feel free.
Brought to you by Ashton Kutcher and MTV.
By way of Inside Foods. It's 1-1. Greg Mandel's got on the 2 bar, scores it off a slop. Now it goes up 2-1. Sprademan sets it up. Pass.
I
Wow.
love how we're commentating table 2 and nobody can see table 2.
Yeah, but they can go to watch
They
table
can.
2, and then yeah.
Absolutely.
Because obviously I'm going to stop when this match on table 1 starts, but now it's tied up 2-2. I mean, this is a consequential. It's a consequential match.
It is
'Cause-
big time. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you 100%.
Wow. Tony's a vacuum cleaner picking up loose balls.
He's
2-2 right
stepping
now,
it up a
2-2.
little bit.
Yeah, he is. Block though. Oh, and Greg punches it in. Wow, 3-2, Greg Mandel. And Greg's been blocking Tony's 3 well, but not his 5.
He just shook
Oh,
his fist.
he's
He
got a
just shook his
fist pump. Yeah,
For a
I love the
slop, that's a
fire.
big deal out of Tony.
yeah.
Tony's got a hand back there and everything. This is
Yeah.
this is the real deal.
He didn't like that.
It's
fist
easy
pump
to
from
forget
Greg.
that, or it's easy for us to forget, but Tony does this for a living.
Oh
and
yeah.
So it serves his bills.
4-3,
that he
Greg.
wins to win the event.
Match
Yeah.
point, Greg Mendel.
It's not. It's the 4th game, so there's no win by 2 here.
No win by 2.
Tony shoots
Oh,
it.
man.
Greg blocks it off the table.
Off
It's
the
going to go back to Greg's
table.
goalie.
Oh my gosh, Tony. I haven't seen Tony take so many quick shots. He's playing very, very fast.
Greg sets it up to shoot. Tony gets possession again, sets it up, roll over, walks it around, looks. No timeouts, just going for it here.
Official to the stage.
Another block.
I need an official to the stage.
Punch back. Tony's goalie position, sets it up to pass. Greg the block.
Tasso and Bracklin.
Looking. Tony gets on his 5. This is obviously a huge
Tasso,
possession.
Bracklin.
Squibs it through. Tony. Sprayed him. Scores it push side. 4-4 in the
my
fourth
gosh.
game. My
This
goodness.
this could be the biggest possession of Greg Mendel's life right now.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to get to the match that's in front of you here in a second, but Greg Mendel just got on his 3 and calls a timeout. 4-4 in the fourth.
Immediately calls it out.
Yes.
No hesitation. No looking at it first. Timeout.
They're still
I can't hate
wrapping
on
up.
that. He has been shooting lights out on Tourney for the most part. Okay? It's legitimately shooting really good. This is insane point right now.
And Greg's been playing long enough to know that. I think I actually own the same shoes that Greg's wearing. So, I don't know what to mean. Okay, time back in. Greg sets it up. Full shot position. 4-4. Match point for Greg.
Big block by Tourney.
Yeah,
I mean,
big
giant. I won't lie. I feel like that was the straw.
Yeah. Oh, no!
An official to the stage.
Wow. Punch back.
Oh, he's calling a foul.
That's it?
Michael,
No.
pause, you're on 13.
What just
Yeah,
happened?
yes.
What happened?
I have
He
no
punched
idea.
it. He knocked the ball forward. It got to Greg's
He's
5.
saying he jarred him?
Past the, I don't see how that could have been, but he jarred it off his pass.
Yeah. And
You
he
might
just
get a
jarred
judge.
him again.
Wow.
He's very fortunate that Greg Mendel gives him that call, even if it's the
Yeah.
right call. If it was
I
like,
wouldn't have.
if that's Tommy Atkinson
I wouldn't have done it.
or like Lafredo, you're not going to get that call. Maybe you probably won't
No.
get that call.
I'm not going to
Well,
give him that call. And I don't do that kind of stuff.
Funny. Yeah, it's definitely about 5-bar jarring.
The match has started in front of us though on table 1. It's rookie singles. Troy Callahan versus
Jeffrey Miller.
Jeffrey Miller. Now I don't know the players, so who's who? Chase.
I believe the gentleman on the right is Troy Callahan. And on the left is Jeffrey Miller. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, I'm like 90% sure. Maybe 95. All right.
Tony crushed the push side and recoiled and walked away from the table and won that game.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, wow.
So that game on table 2, the match on table 2 is going to a fifth game.
Fifth
Tony
and-
Bradyman versus Greg Mendel.
A fifth and final game.
Oh, Jim Stevens has entered the room. No, that was just Chase.
Yeah,
Not
that
just
was
Chase.
Sorry, folks.
Only Chase. The Chase.
Only the Chase, the one, the only.
I'll keep you posted on what's going on intermittently on table number 2.
I have it up. I'm watching all the streams. But that's the beauty of having multiple screens, folks. If you have multiple screens, you can watch all of the InsideFoos.com video streams at once. Highly suggested. Looks like Troy Callahan is
Yeah,
up
he's still
2-0.
Tony's getting frustrated, by the way.
He's been frustrated. But yes. Ooh. Big drop
we
by
got it
Troy.
Anyway.
So the match here going on with Troy and Jeffrey. This is going to be a rookie singles match, guys. Troy is currently up, and I'm pretty sure that is Troy. Troy is up 2-0. Goes along the lane. And told he's got a pretty wicked pull shot, so let's take a peek here.
Oh, yeah. He's got a nice set.
Single elimination, 3 out of 5. Single elimination, 3 out of 5. The Friday Night DYP. Single elimination grand final.
Jeffrey gets a piece of it, but goes in anyway. So Troy goes up 3-0.
Needs to start. Sign up on a computer and come pay us.
Ooh, Jeffrey with a little tricky back pin there. Tries to go to the near side and then sets up in a rollover. Little cut middle there for Jeffrey. Makes it 3-1. Troy takes a phone call mid-match.
Wow.
Very impressive. That's a risky call, you know. It's his drop, but you know, I get it. It's a little gamesmanship. The only other person I know to do that is Mark Torres.
Would Mark take a phone call during a match?
He's done it on camera in a massive match when he was playing with Billy against Tony, and it made Tony mad, and he ended up winning.
I think I vaguely recall that.
Yeah, it's on video. It's one of my favorite matches.
It's hilarious.
It is
What
pretty
was it?
funny.
What was that? Was that national?
No, I think it was open doubles at the Worlds.
You took a phone call?
It was at 7th to get to 5th. It was at 7th to get to 5th
Yeah.
against Robbie and Tony, and I took a phone call and delayed the game, and Robbie and Tony were all pissed off, and I had laughed. I FaceTimed my family to the crowd, and pretty much melted them down and won the match.
Oh my gosh.
It was ridiculous. The things I remember about
I think later in
foosball.
that match, I reverse caught a 3-bar pass. So Billy sent me
Oh
a
my
lane
gosh.
pass, and I caught it in reverse in a back
In a
pin
back
position.
pin. Yeah,
And
in
I
a
look-
back pin.
And then I looked up because I'm so slow. I caught it on accident in a back pin, and then I looked up and told everyone that's how I like to catch them all.
Wow.
No
I was
ego,
paying
folks.
attention, man.
No ego.
Just having fun, man. Like everybody's so stressed out at these things. Everyone's all freaking out. I'm like, come on, man, it's just foosball.
Because you have no
Settle
skin in
down.
this game, okay? For people like Billy at the time, Tony at the time, Rob Mares, like it's a big deal. You could care
No,
less.
it's not really that as much. Let me tell you why it's not that. It's because I work in highly stressful environments to make foosball look silly, and all of
No.
it is a joke for me.
That's not
That
it.
is why. Yeah, that's why.
You can tell yourself that. That's not why.
Anyway, hey, it's
Rolando.
3-2, and
Rolando from Bolivia says hello in our YouTube chat. Hi, Rolando. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
nice.
Welcome to the party, my friend. Is it considered foosball after dark now? Is that where we are?
It's been like
Is that
that
how
for
we've
31 minutes. I've been counting. That's why we've been commentating on 2 matches at once here. By the way, it's
We are.
3-2. Tony's got possession. And
Is that
Greg
skill?
blocks him.
Is that
No.
skill commenting on 2 matches at the same time?
Huh?
Is it considered skill?
Yeah, let's not split hairs.
Let's not
Oh, is it
split
a
hairs.
skill?
That's fair. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it skill to be able to commentate 2 matches at once? I feel like it's like a
Something.
bonus. It's something.
Something. Greg is not availing himself of the opportunities that he has. These possessions have not been going well for him this 5th game.
Jeffrey wins the first game. Troy had him down like 3-1 or 3-0 at one point. Jeffrey comes back and wins that first game. Tony won on match point. Winner of this to play Blake Robertson.
I want to say that if Tony plays like this against Blake, which frankly isn't that sharp, but he's picking up the pace right now. It's not that sharp though. He's making
It's not.
uncharacteristic mistakes. Blake, he's vulnerable to Blake if he plays like this against Blake.
It depends
Yeah.
on how Blake plays, because Blake isn't playing with much heart either.
Blake is playing loose. I don't think he really feels like he's had to really try. So it's going to be an interesting match if Tony and all it looks like he is going to be pulling this one out. But we'll see here. It's still 4-2. Javier says hi from Vegas. Hi, Javier.
Hi, Javier.
John
Welcome
B.
to the party.
There needs to be an age limit for rookies.
And
Tony
that's
has
it.
won.
Tony won.
Tony has won.
21. Okay.
Yep. So Tony versus Blake coming up.
So don't fist pump slop against Tony, and don't have him down 2-0. Although I don't know about that jar at that last game. I
Yeah,
didn't see it.
that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one.
I don't know if it's tricky,
Ooh, what a sweet shot by Troy, right down the middle.
but yeah, I don't know. You hear them talking in the street.
Yeah, in the background.
In our yeah.
Caldwell, table 6.
What's funny is all those guys that are back there over behind Jeffrey Miller are all Knoxville folks.
You think Knoxville folks are funny?
No. I said it's funny because those are the people you can
I
hear.
know. Yeah.
The people that you're hearing are all the Knoxville people.
Oh.
That's Jay Newman, John Newman, and Eddie Mubarak all standing right there in that little spot.
Oh.
If you're not called up on that table, please step away.
You're going to hear a, "That's right, son," here any minute now. All right, Troy goes along the inside wall. He's up 2-1 here in the second game. Jeffrey won the first game. Troy sets up in a full shot.
Javier asks who we are rooting for.
In the singles match?
I don't root for anybody. I mean, I root for the audience. I want them to have see a good match. Well, when I'm up here with a microphone in my face, if it's me, obviously I'll have some bias because I know the players, but I actually don't know these folks.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I really know either of them all that well. I kind of know of Troy more so than I know Troy.
But do you ever really get to know Troy?
Ooh, such a deep question. I'm going to say no. No, you don't. He's an enigma.
Okay, wrapped inside of a chalupa.
Breakfast burrito.
Whatever. No, I'm on chalupas now.
Chalupas, that's the new jam?
Well, as of last night after I had a midnight run of the Taco Bell Grubhub delivery. Never, ever
call.
again. Yeah, it's a good call until you pay for it.
Well,
But,
I mean, it's
in the
usually the
moment.
next morning. But in the
Right.
moment, it's
Sure.
delicious.
Yes. Nice pull kick.
I'm not.
My
was it a
problem,
pull?
my problem with Taco Bell food is I don't know if chalupas and gorditas and whatever the hell actually exist in Mexico, and I don't want to
Oh,
go to
they
Mexico
don't.
and make a fool out of myself
No.
ordering some Taco Bell food that doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, if you say you want a spicy, cheesy enchilada, nobody's going to know what you're talking about. Because that's just Taco Bell.
Well, here's what's interesting. It doesn't matter what you order from Taco Bell; it all tastes the same.
Huh?
Everything that you order,
Okay,
to
once
me,
again, I'm feeling.
everything
I
that
think
I
it's
order from
because you're
Taco Bell
white.
tastes the same.
I think it's because you're white. Everything you say feels offensive.
Is that what it is? It's the bias. Yeah,
Mark.
that seems
Well,
about right.
I will tell you that the spicy Dorito taco is a revelation. Just let you know.
The Dorito? Did you say the?
The Dorito taco.
Yeah.
the
Okay, I'll
revelation.
give you that.
You guys-
Does
you
taste
real-
different. I
you-
think it's delicious.
Hold on. There's two things. They wrap that thing in a piece of cardboard because it falls apart as soon as it hits air.
Absolutely.
It falls apart.
Right. I
And
know.
if you don't
Absolutely.
eat that
That's
thing
what I
in
like
3
my
minutes,
tacos.
you have three.
Yeah.
You have 3 minutes to eat it, or it turns into a sock, like a soggy sock. So it's very, very small window of satisfaction.
I love
from that
time
taco.
It's time dependent cuisine.
It is
do it.
delicious, though. I give it to you. The Doritos Locos is delicious.
Oh my God, Locos! You hear Tom Robinson say enchilada? The Doritos Locos taco.
First off, you live in the South. You need to calm yourself.
The Doritos Locos taco. Doritos Locos.
Wait a minute. You're from Chicago, aren't you?
I'm from everywhere, so
What
I was
does that
born in
even mean?
southeastern Ohio.
Oh.
Grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania. Went back to college at Ohio, then moved to Chicago. Now I live in Tennessee.
That was
Just
that's going to be a really interesting. I really feel like that Greg that was not a good call. That didn't look like a jar. Of course, I'm here and I'm 3,000 miles away, and maybe there was a stutter, but I'm getting a lot of feedback from messages right now from lots and lots of people that looked like Tony called a jar that wasn't. But I
Could have
don't
been
know.
a distraction or something too.
Oh, that's true. It could have
No.
been a distraction. We don't know.
We assumed jar, but we don't know what it was.
Yeah,
So
it could have been a fist pump.
the-
It could have been a
looking
Doritos
back,
Locos.
yeah, it could have been a Doritos Locos, right? Something
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh,
pronounce.
with the R roll.
Shut
That
up.
was, that was
Doritos
that was
Locos.
Could have
Did
been
you just
anything.
download
We just don't know.
Duolingo? I was so amazed at what I'm hearing.
Doritos Locos Taco.
But back to the match. It's
Yeah, we can't
3-1.
have any fun conversation here with Mark around.
Well, I would argue that all conversation with Mark around is fun. It's just a different vintage.
Yes, that's a good call.
Oh,
It is
and
a
I
different
wanted to
vintage.
hold on because while we're still here, I did want to. Deli Master made a point a while ago that I meant to bring up and I never did. Oh, this is back to a conversation that was being had a while ago, but Deli Master says that it sounds like when we were talking about the pros and where they exist in the continuum of foosball skill and ability. Deli Master said it sounds like you're debating who should be in the Hall of Fame, not who's a pro, which is an interesting point because
I
there's
think
plenty
it's
of
very
pros
valid.
in other sports never get into the Hall of Fame. So is there a differentiation? Is there a differentiation in name by pro or pro master? Well, yes. Ability, yes, but they don't have that. So what is pro then really? Because there's no other pros. Are pros just really semi-pros? Because there's no pro that's going to get in the
Well, the
Hall
whole
of Fame.
okay, hold on, stop. The whole thing's a misnomer. If you want to be academic about it, a professional is someone who gets paid and makes a living off whatever the craft is.
Right.
There's nobody doing that except for Tony and maybe Todd. So the whole thing's a joke. Let's start right there. That's a Tony and Todd. The whole thing's a misnomer. We're trying to make categorizations of skill level. It should be better defined than how many points you get from taking third place in crappy events. Shouldn't make you a pro. So there you go.
But
Was
here's
that
the
a shot
question,
at
then.
somebody here in
Maybe.
this chat?
No, it
He
wasn't.
did
It really
use
wasn't.
Michigan shots.
It really wasn't.
That's fine. But here's the question.
It really wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Go ahead.
That's fine. But let's just on topic and whatever the crap is. But so let's just take chess for example. Okay, there's a ton of masters at chess, right? There's only a few what they call grandmasters at chess, and a lot of the masters at chess are they've never won anything.
Not true, dude. I know. I've researched this. You want to get into it? It's like 0.03% of chess players are grandmasters, and they have another subdivision called super grandmasters. And the grandmasters have all had such rigorous criteria to be called grandmasters. It makes foosball criteria look like a joke. But I don't want to circle the drain on this because I think people are actually getting burnt out on it. Unless it's really relevant to people who are asking, I'm
Probably
getting
not.
burnt out on it. Frankly,
No,
I
that's
think.
fair. Let's go back to the match then.
Yeah, let's get back to the match.
That's a good timeout. So we have Troy on his 3-rod, set up in a pull shot. It is 3-3. He's down 1-0 to nothing to Jeffrey Miller. Rookie singles winner side.
This is 17th through 24th. Are there a lot of?
There's 80 teams.
Are there a lot of
and,
rookies?
80
80
singles.
teams in this event.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Solid.
no, it's pretty good. Yeah, and so it started off. This is the round of what? This 17th through 24th.
Like
so
two
it's
rounds
moving
in,
along.
maybe.
Yeah, they have 4
80 to
pages.
40,
so yeah,
40
this
to
is
20.
this is a healthy bracket.
Tony spread him into the registration league. Blake Robinson's the registration league.
This is actually kind of a good analogy. There's 80 people in this event. When I played rookie singles in the 90s, there was like 400 people. But I would argue that the concentration of skill is probably better with these 80 than it was with the 400. You just had to play more matches.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I was gonna say, even for me in 2006, there was 106 people in rookie singles, at the tour
Yeah.
kickoff, which was called the Super Bowl of foosball.
There were like 700 people, 300 and some teams in amateur doubles. So
That's awesome.
there was way more. There's actually way more. Yeah, there was way more.
That was a jar. Nobody knows it.
This guy's got a good pull shot.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
solid.
Yeah. And that really does speak to the point,
Has
Mark.
anyone-
I mean, the skill level is pretty impressive, and this is a rookie event.
Yeah, I think the concentration of skill level is higher. I think the one thing you can't deny is when there's a lot more people, there's an endurance thing, and everybody's
Right.
shooting pull shots back then, so you don't have a rollover, so everybody's really exhausted. You know, I'm not saying it's better or
good
worse. I'm saying it's
save.
different.
He did a bank from back there that he caught on the 3-rod. Do you guys think he did that on purpose or just like caught it in transition? Like,
I don't know, man. You never know. These
you
guys-
never know.
Oh, let's
It's
save.
pretty impressive. I was digging it. I'm thinking, oh man, I can add that to my game. And that's it. That's the match. We have Jeffrey Miller as the winner.
Milo, are you on 14? Put your hand up. Thank you.
I hear that there's a lot of snow going on in Lexington right now. I do not feel
Yeah,
bad. I
I've
didn't
seen
feel bad
pictures.
for that.
Yeah, you know, I was 35 years old when I first saw it snow. Hey, this guy's gonna do that thing where he takes all 4 off at once.
Ooh. And
That's
then just
pretty
pulls
cool.
them.
How?
Yeah. What do you mean how?
Dun,
see.
dun.
People
This
have
is what I
been
mean.
sewing for a
This is
long
how the
time.
game's evolved.
That's
how
how
the
the
game
game.
has evolved.
Back in my day, we took them off one at a time, and it was
Stop
dinosaur
it.
skin.
Stop it right now.
But anyways, that's funny, Mark. You're a funny guy.
So, yeah.
How about that cool little Foos Gadgets thing? The little
Oh, the
bearing
bearing
wrench
wrench
that
rep
also
holder?
pretty cool. I like it. You know, you
I
hold
saw
your,
that too.
Hold your
I-
grips.
I've
Yeah.
never been one to want something to hold my grips. Like, I've always just thrown them into like a belt loop or something. Oh. Yo, somebody tell them to switch the open singles match to table 1 from table 2.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, can you guys please do that?
You
Somebody
mean the other way around? From table 2 to
from table 2 to table 1. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Ashley or Adam?
I
Oh, Adam, you're not there.
don't know who to tell. I just tell my son.
Adam, wake up your son.
Maybe he
Tell
knows
him
somebody.
to move that match.
I'll try and get Ashley to,
I
to
just
follow
I hope
that.
that we get a. I hope we get a match on here. I want to start talking about matches.
She's got it. Yep,
She's
she's
on
on it.
All
Yep, yep.
caps.
I love it.
That's what I like about her.
Yeah, that's a perfect match. Oh jeez. Then they pull a rookie singles match on table 1. No, let's get the open singles match going on here.
If there's
Tony
anything wrong
versus
with rookies,
I was gonna
please.
ask you guys, have either of you guys tried to do any play-by-play?
Only a tiny bit.
Yeah,
I was
we
doing a
did
very
before
little.
you showed up.
Yeah, you showed up and you screwed up everything.
No, do. I know. I just I was bored, but I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna listen to you guys.
No, you're good.
I'm
You're
gonna
good,
jump
you're
off
good.
and
No,
It's up to you, buddy. It's up to
Well,
you.
you be
I'm
like
not
that.
hurting anybody.
No,
I might-
Mark, let's do this.
I might
No, wait,
go
Mark,
get-
Mark, let's do this because
Yeah.
Chase was doing a good job doing play-by-play. We'll let him do the play-by-play, and we'll do color, as opposed to what
All right.
we were doing.
Oh, you could free will. You can play Chase, whatever the hell your name is. You can mix it up. You can mix it up.
You don't even know
Chase.
who I am anymore. I appreciate this, Mark. Thank you.
No, but I like it when
Maybe
somebody's
you could do
doing the
some-
play-by-play because it's easier to kind of jump in and out.
You know what it also
I'm trying
does? It organizes the conversation in a way that's relevant to the match.
Right. Take
Oh,
control
really?
of the
Weird.
match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Steve Murray that just walked by?
I
can't
don't
see him.
think
Murray's
so,
not there,
but
dude.
I was gonna say I don't believe Steve Murray
Why
will
would-
show up to this,
No.
but thank you, Ashley.
funny.
You are our hero.
Thank you. I don't know. I can't. All I saw was somebody with a hat, and I guess.
Tons of
Yeah.
people are coming
You
over
see
to the
that?
bleachers now to watch this.
Steve Murray flew all the way out from
now we're
Texas to watch
talking.
it.
All right,
Okay.
I will. I'll give it a run for doing a little play-by-play for y'all.
Well, I think you do well with that, Chase.
We'll see. It's getting late. I won't lie.
What does that even mean? You're just saying what's in
I'll be
front of
right
you.
back,
It's
guys.
like
I'm
Randy
going to take a
Newman
little
songs.
bio break. I'll be
Little
back in
bio
like 5
break?
minutes.
Okay, go level your druid while you're at it, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, such a good match coming up. Blake Robertson, Tony Spreedeman. I could argue this probably could have been the finals.
Yeah.
This very easily could have been the finals if it wasn't for some incredible upsets.
I'm confused. Wait a minute.
What?
Is
For
this for
third
third?
place. For third. So the winner of this will
place
become
for
third.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is getting late. Yeah, so let's recap, though. The open singles has been a little bit different. JLA upset Tony Spreedeman early on and then upset King Gabriel, right?
Yep.
And then he
exactly
played
right.
Brandon Munoz for the winners, and Brandon Munoz handily, I would say, beat him.
Yeah.
So the winner of this match goes on to play JLA to see who gets to play Eli. Sorry.
Yep.
To see who gets to play Brandon Munoz.
That's
And
correct.
this is honestly this is a marquee event that this would be playing for King's seat. This not for third on the
Yeah.
losers.
Yeah, this is definitely a marquee matchup, so to speak, for sure. And yeah, I would argue that this could have easily been the finals. This could have been the King seat match too. But we're getting it here. I think it's fun to see stuff like this.
But let's underscore it. Let's really talk about it because what we're seeing is a shift. And maybe it's just a tour kickoff, and maybe everybody's just getting their, getting the cobwebs of winter going, right, and just dusting those off. But it's interesting to see people winning or beating other people that you wouldn't normally expect. So who knows what 2022 is going to bring? But I'm really excited about this coming year, Chase. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening.
Same here. I agree with you 100%. And I'll say this, the history of the tour kickoff has been towards upsets in the past. The tour kickoff is a lot of times you see these crazy upsets or crazy wins or things like that. Last year, for example, and I'm not going to call this an upset at this point, but it's what happened last year in open doubles at this very event. It was Kevin Ramiro and Carlos Cepitas Martinez won open doubles last year at this event.
I would call that an upset. I would call that unexpected.
Unexpected, yeah. Not necessarily an upset, but definitely unexpected, right? And
yeah. And who did they beat? Because I was not watching. I did not.
I believe last year it was. I think it was Todd and. Yeah, definitely look it up. But I'm pretty sure it was Todd and Boone.
Was it Darren Bone?
Darren Bone, yeah. That's it.
No, they beat Spreedeman and Mayring.
Oh, that was the final?
Yeah, Spreedeman and Mayring had that great run at Tornado Championships. I believe they placed third.
They did play at thirds, yes, at the Worlds. You are correct.
So,
but that's who they played in the final was Tony and him?
Yeah.
Okay. They played Todd earlier on too, though, and they beat Todd. That's probably why. I think I commentated the Todd match. I think that's why I remember it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Franklin, you're 13. Mr. Smith, table 13.
But still, I mean, that's a great win. Open doubles win at a quasi, what we consider like a major.
I would consider this. Major. I would consider this is more of a regional. I wouldn't say this is this is not a major, but it's.
That's fair.
I would.
It used to be a bigger event.
Right.
Just to be clear,
it
used to be a much larger.
Sure.
Event.
Yeah. No. It was the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But no, this is now. I would not classify this as a major, but it's definitely a good warm up. So I'd be curious though, Chase. These two have not played anybody of their caliber, except for Blake this weekend. Except for Blake playing Kane, and arguably Kane was not being Kane. So it'll be curious to see how these two match up against each other because, this is a conversation that I've had with a lot of up and coming players that are ranked rookie or in that range that have the great skill set, great ability, but they're still got the lower rank. But they say that it's easier for them to match up against pros and higher than people similarly ranked. Which really speaks to that concept of when you are playing on a higher level, the way you're thinking about playing the game changes.
So here, yes, and I can explain why. Because even when I was a rookie, I thought the same thing, and I can tell you why it seems that way to rookies. It's because pros have a more controlled game, which means a lot less slop is going to be headed towards their goal. Rookies and amateurs, even experts, are prone to allow more slop to go in, which is why against pros they feel like they have a better job, because they kind of produce more slop because they misexecute, things like that, and it gives them that extra point here, extra point there, that if they were passing and trying to shoot it, at a higher percentage, they may not get.
Right.
And it was the same misconception I always had. When I was, a rookie and stuff, like, oh man, I can hang with these pros. And then you really go back and watch the match. You know what I mean? Like if you record the match and you watch the match, you go, oh man, this dude actually controlled me the whole time. I got, a break here, a break there. And that's really the difference in that thought process. When the pros aren't, misexecuting and the ball isn't shooting in and all this slop is perpetuating, you get this kind of idea in your head, like, oh, I can kind of hang with these guys, and then you never know what's going to happen when you're playing a rookie.
Right. That's very true.
And I ran into that same thing, for a while, because I was, you even said it, you got away with having fast hands. I got away with being, pretty talented and having fast hands. And didn't need to have any mental game at all, at all.
Right.
And I finally started to develop that, as I got older. And because I've started to develop it, I've really realized the difference of why.
Yeah.
Going back and really watching over some of these matches and watching, how I ended up winning this event or that event. And when you go back and look at it, you go, oh, well, that's probably why. So I'm a big fan of watching your matches. I think that it's very telling.
Thomas Weissel, you have 2 minutes to report to table 7.
And as long as you're open to your own thought process, then you can really grow as a player. All right, looks like we're about to get underway here. Blake Robertson's going to start off with the ball. All right, and we are going underway. Blake Robertson sets up on the 5, tries to go wall, blocked by Tony Spreedeman, tries to go wall again, blocked, both times coming back to Blake on the 5. Tony tries to do a quick shot from the 5 bar, ends up on Blake's 3-rod, sets up in a snake shot position. And Blake goes middle, little offset middle there. Tony with a bad look on his face. Did not like that. Tony passes along the outside wall, sets up for a rollover. Walks the ball and goes middle.
That's amazing.
1-1.
Yeah, Blake's defense was really fascinating there because he had such a tight defense, standard middle defense, and then did that gaping straight. I kind of suspect that was probably on purpose. We'll see how the communicate. There's going to be a great communication defensively and offensively between these two players throughout this match, and it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
I agree 100%. I agree with you. I think he's setting something up for later. Blake with the ball on his 5 bar, passes along the inside wall, sets up for the rollover. Tony in a shake defense, tries to go push side, goes back to Blake on the 5, sets up for another rollover, tries to go quick push side again. Tony there for the block. Tony goes off bank off the inside wall. Blake with a fast brush pass to his 5 bar. Tony picks up the ball on his 5, goes back into his traditional tic-tac, tries to do a brush down. Blake blocks it, picks it up on the 5. Blake tries to do chip up, blocked by Tony, comes back to him, then goes for a quick wall. Blake setting up for a pull shot now. Oh my.
Interesting.
Ooh, stubs it and misexecutes. Tony gets it on the 3.
It's an interesting thing though, Chase. I know it's 1-1, and he just only had a couple possessions with it, and he switched to his pull shot, and that might not be considered the good thing to do. But um, Blake knows his game at this level. He knows his game, and he was maybe looking for a different change, a change of pace, or just to insert something else into Tony's mind. And I wouldn't be surprised if Blake goes back to his rollover in the next possession or two.
Well, listen, guys. Blake thinks that Tony's pull shot defense is weak, and that's what he beat him with at the Beachtown beatdown. So he thinks that he could score better with his pull shot on Tony. But to your point, we'll see if that holds up.
Contextually, I'm curious because this is not the Beachtown beatdown, and now he goes back to the rollover.
Yeah, instantly.
It's got to be
Blake tries to go push side.
Yeah, and he did that the last possession too, and he keeps doing it, and he's doing
4 in a
these
row.
little short race. Now he goes straight. So it's interesting. Wow. Nice conversion from Tony, but it's
we want to be sensitive. Here's the thing: we got to be sensitive and careful too. These masters who played each other so many times are actually building off the last time they played each other. They're like this is a continuation of their last match. So these push sides are something from. It's not just like it's novel and organic to the moment. They're playing off
probing
matches before. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're building off of old information that they have from past matches, for sure. Oh, man, Blake with a buttery pass to his 5. Hammers his stick lane, sets up for his rollover again. Ooh, and goes push side again.
But his timing was different. And Mark, you're right. I mean, you're talking about the continuum of what it is that they're doing. It's this larger, I'm talking about it in a ball-to-ball communication, but you're talking about it a tournament-to-tournament. And that's really fascinating and something for players out there that are trying to up their game to think about, especially when you think about the fact that strata of players are going to be playing each other pretty consistently when you get to the 9 out of 12s and up.
Oh yeah, I mean Blake and Tony have played each other a ton of times.
Here's the other thing: look at the level of difference in intensity. These guys are way more engaged than they were against Kane and Greg. And Tony almost lost. Blake walked through, but there's a whole different level of adrenaline we're seeing.
Yeah, this isn't even close to the same thing that you saw before. Now 4-4, Tony with the ball in his 5 rod.
And arguably
takes a timeout.
What you're seeing here looks almost easier. Like they're just doing things, they're scoring really well, it's going really fast, but what's happening is the pushback against them being able to achieve this is so great that it makes what they're able to actually achieve that much better. I don't know if that makes sense. Mark, do you know what I'm saying? Does that
I do. I know exactly
Chase,
what
go
you're
ahead, Chase.
about. Yeah.
If you could say it another way, because I just want that point to be made clear.
You're saying it right. It's because they're not not trying, so to speak, and that they are trying. The game seems to make more sense. Like it seems cleaner, it seems smoother, it doesn't seem forced.
Right. It seems like they're playing easier, but this is definitely by no means easier for either one of them.
Correct. Yeah.
What is happening though, you guys too? I think we're saying the same thing. The intensity is higher, the adrenaline's higher, so the level of execution is higher, and the attention of detail is higher. All those things happen at an elevated pace because it's no longer Greg Mendel and a lazy river stream down with Kane Gabriel. These guys are dialed in.
Yes. Yeah, the game has changed drastically since those matches. Tony back into his traditional tic-tac, goes along the outside wall, sets up for his rollover. And Tony to the back of the goal.
I'll add one more element to this. This is why Brandon Munoz has to be very concerned, because one of these guys are going to get to the finals and has already decided when they get to the finals, they don't want to give Brandon that notch in his belt. Brandon's going to have to go through them. He's not going to walk over them, and it's not going to be easy.
Brandon's not going to be able to play to not lose. Brandon has to play to win. Absolutely agree with that. Tony with an uncharacteristic, I can't even say the word, characteristic near wall pass. There we go. Back in his goalie area, passes up to his 5 rod. Tony along the outside
It
wall.
also says something about us. Let me tell you what this match says about us. Their level of play and execution has increased, so our
So
level
is
of
ours.
focus and execution has increased, which is unfortunate because if Jim were here, he'd be a professional the entire time, no matter who was playing and at what level. We're just kind of going ebbing and flowing with the quality of play in front of us. That's sad, but it's true.
Well, it's only because you're here, Mark, but we all love you anyway. Blake tries to go pull side with his rollover, blocked by Tony. Tony attempts to go into his 2-5 series, blocked originally, then back to the near wall. Catches on his 5, goes into his tic-tac, tries to go off the wall pass. Mis-executes slightly, ends up in Blake's goalie area. Blake tries to pass. Man, these smooth passes by Blake. Tony picks it up on his 5 and tries to go with a lane pass on the near wall. Blake goes with a lane pass of his own, sets up in his rollover, tries to go quick pull side, gets blocked by Tony. Tony passes it back to his own goalie area from his 5 bar and goes into his 2-5 series. Tries to shoot a pull kick, blocked by Blake and off the table. Blake will take position in his goalie area. Blake looking to pass 2-5. Drops the pass, ends up on Tony's 5 bar. Tony passing near wall, does a near wall brush pass, and sets up into his rollover. Tony then goes down the center middle off of an offset. Blake tries to go near side wall. Tony picks it up on his 5 bar. Brushes back against the outside wall, sets up for his rollover. Attempts to go push side, blocked by Blake. Blake picks it up on his 5 bar, passes quickly to the high lane, sets up for his rollover again. Walks around, goes back to the middle. Blake shoots his best when he is shooting in under 3 seconds and continues to do so. Tony passes high lane himself and goes quickly to the push side, 4-2, Tony.
Table 28 should be Eric Miller.
Blake again with a quick pass, does the flippy, gets away with it.
Tag Leon. Eric
Tony goes
Miller,
back to his
number
far
1.
wall tic-tac. Miss executes ever so slightly, getting blocked by Blake. Ends up in Blake's goalie area. Blake ends up with the ball, luckily on his 3 run after a slight misexecution. Sets up in his rollover. Tries to go quick push side, then Tony. It's just like impossible to keep up with. Blake again sets up, quick shot. Tony passes 2-5. Goes to far wall tic-tac, does the slider pass. Sets up for his rollover. Tony takes a quick look, tries to go pull side and gets blocked.
He gave that big gaping straight again, but he gave it in a different. Wow.
Blake with the
Slingshot.
slingshot, near wall slingshot to make it 4-4.
Thank you, sir. I have another.
No
Not
kidding.
bad.
Tony with that new brush back to the far wall. Sets up for his rollover. Takes a good long look at it. Tries to go pull side, just misses outside to the wall. Then tries to go flippy. Blocked by Blake both times. Blake calls timeout. Beautiful.
You guys,
Damn.
that's what I mean. Like Tony is just not 100% clearly. Like Tony is normally doesn't make a couple of things we've seen in this game. He'd be up 1 right now and be closing it. So he's playing a little bit behind. It's been the same thing over and over. He's playing better, but by far now, still a little bit behind.
Oh my gosh.
Another slingshot by Blake. Tony looks stunned by that. I'm not going to lie. I have not seen Tony look stunned before, but that's a big point by Blake. He just scored 2 slingshots in a row to close out game number 1.
You know, that reminds me of something Trevor Park told me once 20 years ago when I first started playing. He said all that stuff you do, that you play at DYPs or pickup games that you think aren't going to work on Masters and other players, they work on everybody. So just do them. Do what feels comfortable. I would never in a million years try to shoot a slingshot on Tony, but and I know Blake is Blake, but there's something to that. There's a confluence of doing what you want to do and have fun with doing, and doing well and succeeding in foosball, anyways. Like so.
Tony with the
we'll all
big
agree
right
and
hook.
simultaneously. That was nice. We'll all agree and disagree with you. Is this? There's a meta to that. Like the rookie can't get away with it, but Blake can get away with it.
Right.
It's
That's what I'm
different.
saying. But I mean, I think it's a progressive though. I think it's a snowball. I think
there's certain
what I'm
people
saying
that
is
are
you
gonna be
do
able
it
get
to
away
get to the point where Blake is, which is why he feels comfortable doing it in this scenario.
You can't only do it, but if you have it in the repertoire and you've already got him thinking about other stuff, you can throw it in. Especially if you're going to hit it like Blake has.
Sorry, 3 out of 5 single elimination. 3 out of 5 single elimination. The DYP is starting now.
Tony does pick the ball back up on his 5-rod. Back into his far wall. Tic Tac tries to brush, but luckily gets the ball through. Sets up for his rollover. Tony walks the ball to the far side. Starts walking it back towards the middle. Tries to go push side. I think he hits the wall there. Blake goes 2-5, blocked by Tony. Blake back into his 2-5 series. Blake gets it along the inside wall, then immediately goes into a lane pass, setting up for his rollover. Blake known for quick shots, and he does so again on his near side. Blake going quick to that pull side hole. Tony back into his tic-tac hard along the outside wall. Sets up for his rollover.
Greg Rushing.
Flips over.
That's 5-0
Walks to the push side. Goes push side. Tony up 2-1. I think we're starting to see the pace really change here, guys. The execution level's going up. The game plans are changing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to lie. And Tony's starting to come alive.
Yeah, the chess match got sped up.
Blake tries to go with a really strong chip, but Tony gets a piece of it. Catches it back onto his 5-rod. Tony tries to go back to the wall. Blocked by Blake on the 5. Picks it up. Blake goes high lane. Blake sets up in his a front pin, so to speak, and tries to just go straight on Tony. Tony not having it. Tony's looking for a 2-5 pass. Tries to shoot. Blake blocks it and picks it up on his 3-rod. Tony goes into a fast shuffle defense. Blake tries to go quick wall yet again and hits the wall. Goes pull side quick twice and gets the second one. Tony, hard bounce wall. Sets up for his snake shot. Tony looking. Then walks the ball, goes pull side. Whew. Execution has really stepped up here, guys. Blake goes hard along the inside wall. Tries to shoot a quick pull side front pin. Tony there to block it. Tony going into hyperdrive, shooting and passing from everywhere. Now set up on his front pin.
Okay, here we go. The open DYP.
Tony taking a long time to read it. Tries to go push side and then immediately into a pull kick. Oh, man. 1-1 in game count.
Is it 1-1 or 2-1?
It's 1-1.
I thought it was. Yeah. Okay.
Blake looks a little stunned after that, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Tony looks like he's starting to play like Tony does. Blake looks like to be on his heels a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how he responds. I mean, that's the whole. Hey, there's the fake rub.
The Billy rub.
The Billy rub. I'm a practitioner of that, but I'm influenced by Billy Pappas, so.
I do it too. It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, but Blake's still Blake, and he's going to respond. And you see, I think he's going to start taking a little bit more time. I know when he worked straight, so yeah, he's going to start working different holes. That's really what it comes down to here. you continue to play your game, but start using different options and utilizing different options.
Well, yeah, I mean, he started off the match trying to go pretty much exclusively push side. Then he started switching to pull side. Now he's gone straight a little bit. So let's see if he continues with that concept. He's been passing really well for the most part.
Yeah. And the thing to really look at, really for me, the it's going to come down to the other one's 2-bar, like the transition and the shooting.
Yeah, I mean, they've both been doing a 2 to 5 series.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to do like a 2-minute video edit on the imaginary table cleaning thing, because that thing started with rosin, and Billy started trying to clean rosin off the table. Then it became an imaginary thing, and then people picked it up as some kind of weird social tick. And thousands of people, I think, clean the table now, and it's so weird for me.
So I can tell you why I do it is because I keep my timeouts there. So I mark the table with my finger where their rod is and where my rod is of what the timeouts are.
But that doesn't
so I
stay.
wipe them off after every game. Mine do. I'm
a sweaty guy. Okay. Oh, gross. Okay.
I'm super disgusting. I understand it.
Wow.
But that's how mine stay there is the marks stay on the table there and I wipe them off in between each game.
You know what we should do?
You guys wipe the table between each position.
If we're talking about like social engineering and people are like doing stuff just because Billy did something once, we could actually have somebody like mine cryptocurrency as a tick, and then maybe it just turns into a way to kind of have like a side business for football tournaments. Just think about it.
Well, I will be if we're going to talk about the timeout thing, I'll be coming out with a little timeout keeper here soon. So,
oh, really?
I've engineered one. I've got a bunch of them printed up and made, and I'll be selling those before too long.
Cool.
Pretty fun.
You guys, are you sure? I want to be very clear. Are you sure the games aren't 2-1? Bill, I think it's 2-1, Blake.
It is not.
I had to. I don't know because I had to step away to attend to my child for a little bit. So
I am 99% sure it is 1-1.
Maybe our producer Ashley.
Although everybody else is telling me it's 2-1, so I could be wrong.
I'm not telling you anything. I don't know because I was away.
It's 2-1. I'm sure it's.
All right, I missed a game somewhere, so that's fine. But Tony has come alive.
These things happen. Oh, William Benson says 2-1. Rivers, there's a huge contingency in the chat that says it's 2-1.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I remember the screenshots. Oh, you know what?
The first game.
No, that's when I came back. That's when I came back. So yeah.
I thought that was the first game still.
No, because I remember I had to go tuck my kid in. So here we are. It's 2-1 Blake, but he's down by 2 now in this game.
Interesting.
Whoa!
Tony with the far wall bank from the 5.
He thought about it too.
So it sounds like everybody's telling us it's now 2-2. So.
Yeah, I'm okay. I believe everything I read on the internet. So if they think it's
I do too. Have you heard the one about how birds aren't real?
Yeah, but that's not real.
But I love that one. That's my favorite one.
No, I mean the thing's real, not real.
Oh, yeah. I hear birds aren't real.
No,
they're
I mean
all drones.
Well, how
made by the government to spy on us.
Right, and cats are solar powered. Look at this! Look at this! They were doing this practice buddy thing before the match started. Tony was feeding Blake practice balls. That's nice.
It's very nice of him. It's kind.
I like that.
All right.
So game 5, huh?
Game 5, I guess.
All right.
I missed the memo.
No, there's a lot of people in the chat say it, so I'm going to believe it.
Oh, big drop by Blake. Picked up on Tony on the 3. Sets up in snake shot.
Yeah, see, RJ Aquaponics said Chase, fish aren't real, but of course somebody with aquaponics in their name is going to say that.
That's very true.
Whatever, sneaker. So what's gonna happen here in this game, Chase? I mean, what if both of these two are gonna have to do?
So to me, Tony has to stick with his game plan. He's got to play like Tony does. Blake needs to kind of do what Blake does best, which is quick shots, stick with his 5-bar, and do his 2 to 5, but not make mistakes. He was playing a little bit careless in the last 2 games, or really. and he's letting kind of Tony get away with some stuff. Now, if he keeps doing this and he keeps shooting well, it's a whole different thing.
It's going to come down to goalie defense, in my opinion here.
It's a good call.
Dude, it's going to come down to
I think
this.
it's tied up.
Telltale sign. Listen, it's a telltale sign for me that Tony is not playing 100%, whether it's in between his ears or he doesn't like something about the table. Something's going on where he's not executing in pressure situations when it's real tight the way he's used to. I've seen it now in a couple matches. And it's going to come down to him having a 3-3 possession and how easy it is for him to score that possession. If he can get it together, he's going to put it away like he usually does. If he's not 100% and is missing something, Blake's going to steal it. He's going to steal this match. So look for it.
And he very well could. Tony's just got to play like Tony does. Oh, he tries to go with the right hook, so to speak. Hard along that outside wall. Now, I'm with you, though. I think you're right. If Tony doesn't kind of dial it in and lock it home, then yes, I agree with you 100%. I think Blake could steal this one.
Thank you. I got your result. Jody, I got it.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, 3-2 Blake. Tony's 5-bar really sped up there, drops the high lane pass. Blake lucky to pick it up on his 5 there. Blake goes just a smooth lane pass, sets up in the rollover. Quick shot down the middle, 4-2 Blake.
This is what I mean. Tony is just playing a step behind. He's not executing as high a level as he typically does. And if Blake converts these, it's over.
I mean, he just dropped a wall pass. I don't know the last time I saw Tony drop a wall pass or miss right hooks. I mean, that's like 2 in a row Tony has missed completely. I mean, they weren't even on goal. Blake now switching to shooting a shot from the 2-rod.
you think he's going to do that? I mean, that defense
Or just calls a timeout.
Yeah, but that defense that he's giving is huge. That zone is saying slingshot all day long. He closed it up just now as he's leaning on it, but unless he gets back there, that's just massive.
Tony's kind of developed a very interesting zone, I feel like. Very impressive little style that he has for his zone. A lot of people have adapted it. Oh boy. That could be the spark Tony needs. A little 5-bar block. Lane. Blake just with another smooth lane. And Blake goes.
There it is.
Executed it, went off of Tony's outside guy and goes in. And Blake has again beaten Tony.
I would call it
unforced.
I think it's unforced errors on Tony's end.
Yes.
5-bar shots that are atypically misexecuted, throwaway stuff that he doesn't usually do, missed shots, just all the things that add up to making him mortal. And he typically plays like a immortal, but he was really mortal his last couple matches. So people are going to have these. He's due to have these types of tournaments. It doesn't mean anything about the demise of Tony. It just means he had a bad run in singles. Maybe he didn't like something about the tables. Maybe he's not focused or not practiced. Whatever. Kudos to Blake. If he executed when he needed to pull it through. But here's the funny narrative here. Brandon has the matchup he wants. Brandon did not want to play Tony. If he had to choose, he's choosing Blake. And it's going to be interesting to see how Blake pulls through in this event.
So last time they played was at Worlds, and Blake came out on top. They played in open single. They played against each other at open singles at Worlds, and Blake ended up winning that matchup. Can Blake do it again?
Well, and
that's gonna be the question.
Yeah, and we still have Blake still has to beat Jay. Obviously, it probably favors Blake, but
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot about Jay. I didn't mean that. I'm actually gonna. I forgot all about Jay. It's horrible.
Fine, yeah, that's fine. But it's true though. So Jay, and that's maybe to Jay's advantage. Maybe
he might
that works to Jay's advantage. Who knows? because Jay still had to get to where he's at. So let's see what happens here. Now, that being said, Blake went through the two people that Jay beat that we didn't expect Jay to beat. So if the transitive property is in effect, then Blake should beat Jay.
I like where your head's
Does everybody
at.
follow?
Yeah, I follow you. Yep. Because Jay beat Tony
transitive
and
property
Kane, and
typically
Blake
works
beat
when.
Kane and Tony.
Go ahead.
Brad,
The transitive property is also works because of momentum. How many times have we been in the losers bracket and just built up slowly, match after match, getting better and better until you're in the finals and you're unstoppable? And it doesn't matter who's in front of you, or the inverse. You're sitting
we're
in the
gonna
winners
have a chance
bracket
to
and you're
find out
watching someone
because-
climb out.
Blake and Jay just got called up on table 1.
Ooh. Hush.
I know we're way past like the time we said we were going to be doing this still, but I'm down.
What?
I'm down.
I have no choice. Oh. I don't have a joke.
Nothing.
I ran
nothing-
out.
nothing-
I'm tapped out. What are you gonna do? I'm still trying to figure out where this is being filmed. Like I've been in this ballroom, but where is it? What part of is this? Where the pit was at the Tornado Championships? I can't tell with my limited views here. Is it just me? Has everybody gone? All right. And then there was.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
It's just me now. Well, folks, it's been a tour kickoff in Lexington, Kentucky. We're about to watch a good one here. Open singles for winners of the losers. Blake Robertson versus JLA. I'm butchering it. One of you in chat, please let me know. I know I'm saying that wrong.
Drew Dixon.
JLA.
Raise your hand, Drew Dixon.
That's not the pit for me.
Drew Dixon.
Okay.
Raise your hand.
So it's a different position. I'm Adam Gilson. There is a Chase Pennell, actually Pennell, somewhere here, and Mark Torres as well. They stepped away from him. They'll be back as we get this match underway.
Drew Dixon, you're up on table 11. Drew Dixon, you're up on table 11. Hey, Drew, raise your hand. Here he comes.
If you hadn't been watching the tournament stream throughout the day, Jay has upset. He upset earlier Tony Sprademan and then King Gabriel on his way to play Brandon Munoz for winners of the winners. And Brandon beat him. And now Blake battled his way through the loser side, and now he's playing Jay for winners of the loser side. The players were prompt to show up, so I think we'll find out pretty soon
Tom Shoemaker, are you in the room? Table 4. Tom
what will be happening with this match. RJ Aquaponics in the YouTube channel. By the way,
Yes.
thanks to everybody on YouTube for following us, listening to us during the stream this afternoon, evening. RJ Aquaponics says, should be a good match. I would agree. William Benson agrees as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one for sure.
Jaron says it's pronounced J-A-L-A. Alay. Okay.
It could be. I've always heard it pronounced a lie, so it's very possible.
Tomorrow afternoon, folks, by the way, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be streaming matches, commentations, and live statistics being calculated and shared during the match. Does that mean, Ashley, our producer Ashley is feeding me this information. Does that mean that Clay Toomey will be involved? I see the word statistics, and I think Clay.
I would assume that too. That is, whenever I hear that, that's exactly what I assume.
I get
Clay
super
Toomey.
excited because I love hearing
26.
Clay
John
dig into it like that. Ashley's
I
going to
love
let
me
me
some
know in a
Clay
moment.
Toomey.
Vince Ramirez. Chris Bothe.
What are we moving up to? It's almost 11:30 local time.
Yep,
In,
that's correct.
For you too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Table 27, we need Scott.
And we've got Blake versus
Adams,
Jay.
Stephen Bell,
This should be
Ken
good.
Aspich.
This is going to be a very much two different styles.
Yes.
You know, Blake a little bit more traditional to some degree, but and Jay very unorthodox. So we're gonna see how this goes. You know, if I had to make a prediction early on, you gotta vote Blake, right?
Yeah.
But Jay is taking out two of the other top dogs, so to speak, in this field. So very good chance.
Tom Showmaker, get there.
All right, so you're Jay. You've been watching lots and lots of tape on Blake. How do you come to this event? How do you come to this match? What's your game plan?
I would personally try and slow Blake down a little bit. But that's the problem. Jay doesn't play that style where I do. What I would do, if it was me, I'd try and slow Blake down. I would never give him a quick pull side. And I would probably never give him a quick wall either. And I would take my chances playing, you know, cat and mouse around the rest of the table with him and get my percentage. For Jay, I think he needs to play great defense. I think he does need to try and rely on that two-rod of his. But at the same time, I'd like to see him try and take some more shots on his three-rod. He really has kind of almost removed his three-rod from the equation in his match against Brandon. But he needed it against Tony, and he needed it against Kane. And I think he needs to bring it back into the equation and allow himself to get some big-time shots from his three-rod.
Yeah, I would agree. And, you know, that's the thing with Blake. Tony was blocking Blake decently, but Blake kept adjusting, and he kept adjusting, and he kept adjusting. And where Jay was succeeding in those other matches prior was his defense, his goalie defense. And you're right, you know, he does seem kind of removed from his three-bar sometimes. Like, that's not Jay's game. It's not part of his game, but so how he's going to weave that into into a successful story for him against Blake will be interesting. Because yes, Tony wasn't playing as fired up maybe as he has been in the past. Yes, maybe you could make that argument for Kane as well. Blake beat Tony. So what it comes down to is that I think that Jay is probably the most 100% motivated person on the table right now in this match. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. And I think we'll have a sense, because this is, you know, we're now that it's back in the money. This, even though it's loser side, it's 3 out of 5, and I do believe. Well, actually, I don't know, because there's been some tournaments that weren't. I don't know. Ashley, can we get confirmation of whether or not this is overtime in the 5th?
Yes, it is, because it's in the money.
It is. Okay, good.
Yeah, because it's in the money.
I didn't. Well, because I've seen other tournaments this year, regardless of the money, that didn't go overtime.
Not an IFP event, though. Not open singles in an IFP. So with Mary Moore events like IFP events, anything that's in the money open is win by 2 in the 5th. So I want to see this be a match. I don't want to see Blake run away with this personally, as a fan, right? Like, as a fan, I really want to see this become a very serious match. I do think that Jay has a solid chance here. Just to be clear, I really do believe that, but he needs to rely on his defense. He needs to get more possessions on his 3-rod than he has been getting, especially against, like, more so than when he did against Brandon.
Right. But
Mhm.
But something to consider is this: is that at this point now, Kane and Tony are out, and I can guarantee you, Blake has either been watching Jay or Blake has already talked to Tony and Kane about what happened. Why did you lose? And I know that that's gone through his Cuisinart of the mind to try to figure out, how he's going to use it. Personally, I mean, my money is going to be Blake at 3. I mean, as a fan, I like to go deeper, but I feel like Blake, because he's kind of at the height of his powers or nearing the height of his powers as a player, I think it's going to be Blake in 3. That's my prediction. I would love to be wrong, just because I like to see a good match.
I hope you're wrong too.
Right.
You have a very valid point. If it's going to be a Blake win, I think it'll be 4. I think Jay will win either the first or second game. And the only reason I say that is because it's an unorthodox style, and it takes people a moment to adjust. So I think there's going to be like a feeling out period. And if Jay can survive, if Jay can win the first game, okay, and he can survive the second adjustment that will be made, he's got a very, very good chance. But he has to keep his defense up, and he's got to survive that little. There's going to be an onslaught. I think it's going to be the second game.
Let me put. Then I'll say it because I know what you're saying, and I'm gonna let me just bring it one step further. It's gonna be either Blake in 3 or coin toss in 5.
Yes. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's going to be necessarily a coin toss, but there's a couple of things that Jay has to do, right? And it has to be early. Jay has to win the first game. Has to.
He has to win the first 2, and he still has to survive the adjustments.
Exactly.
Blake's toolbox is deep, and his confidence is huge. I mean, we saw that a lot of folks that are watching this stream didn't see what happened when Tony was down against Greg Mendel on table number 2. Tony was down 2-0 against Greg. Greg was playing pretty decently, matter of fact, and Tony wasn't playing as great. But I mean, Greg was playing okay, and then Tony does what Tony does and came back, and it was the 5th game, and Greg fell apart.
Yes.
For whatever, whether or not there was a controversy of a jaw or a distraction or whatever, I don't know. That's not the point. The point is that under pressure, Greg folded, and that's what happens, and that's the difference between the top tier players and the level right beneath it. Because make no mistake, Greg Mendel, I think, is a great player. He's a great pro. But you can see that differentiation between these two levels, right? And so that's what we're going to see here. And that's why it could either be a 3 straight or go to 5. I can't hear what Blake's saying.
I don't know. Blake's probably trying to play head games already. Oh, he's saying how they were talking about they did the flip, and he said he wanted that side.
Oh.
Is
that a head game? That could be a head game.
That's definitely a head game because he just beat. So. Right, he's been practicing on that side the whole time. Jay has, since he got there. Blake just beat Tony on that side, right?
Yeah.
So that is 100% a head game.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, I'm going to use it at the next event.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is either going to be quick or a brawl. This is
it's either going to be swift,
like Rocky all over. Rocky movie all over again.
Which one?
The first one.
Didn't he lose in a couple of them?
He lost in the first one. Rocky did. But
so
it was
Rocky
still a war.
Here then.
Well, I mean, you would have to assume Rocky's JLI, right? I mean, it could be either one. You never know. Rocky won in the second one, so against a very incredible Creed. Creed was the greatest boxer of all time in those movies.
I guess I don't remember those movies.
That's okay. So Rocky, technically, like the first one, Rocky was like it was just kind of set up to where Rocky would fight Creed.
I thought he was an underdog.
He was super underdog.
And he lost?
Yeah. Rocky lost in the first one. But the fact that he even made it to a decision, everybody thought was crazy. Like, that was the whole thing. And then in the second one, Rocky beat him for the title.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, dude.
Okay, great. Just making sure.
Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Kira, Shell,
We've got
Welcome
the
to the
matchup,
party,
buddy.
pal. Speaking of
Got-
80s and 70s movies. Mark, we have our predictions. How's this going to go? Give us the game score, if this or that.
I think you're probably going to go 3-1 Blake, and
Okay.
I would love to see Jay win. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Jay versus Brandon in the final would be sick, and I like both these guys. But if we're talking again, we're talking about betting. If I'm betting
Yeah.
Blake 3-1.
Yeah. We said I think it's either our collective consensus was either 3 straight Blake or 2 game 5 coin toss ish. We say ish lightly.
Yeah, we're gonna see. It's a clash of styles. You know. It's gonna be interesting.
I think this started off with me listening in on the broadcast and being reminded of the gap between a pro and a master.
Yeah.
If Blake plays to
Chasm.
form, you're going to see it right here.
Right.
You'll see the difference.
That was the thing, and we've seen this time and time again. Is like the differentiation, because the skill level is almost the same when they're practicing to some degree, but it's the differentiation happens in the game 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s under pressure. And how deep is your toolbox?
And Jake lied to be the first one to come onto the scoreboard.
Which is what he has to do. He's got to win the first 2 really fast before before the seats are warm. Jay's got to be
Exactly
winning.
right.
table 18.
That wasn't even a rollover. That was like a flip push.
That was the flippy push side, the Tourney flippy
Yeah.
push side, and that worries me a little bit.
No, that's somebody that feels pretty confident.
Well,
And as
that's
you said,
that's what I'm saying.
Loda.
You don't
Yeah.
want that against Jay a lot. You don't want to play that game against this guy. I think
Not that we pick
that's to be
sides.
scary. No, yeah. I'm just saying.
Our side, no, but our side is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
audience. We want the
Exactly.
audience to get a good. But I mean, this is Blake is playing very smooth.
Yes, he is.
This-
Very little
no,
pressure
that's
right now.
What should be concerning is Blake got the quick flippy push side and then the half-second pull
Then the-
side that you should
yeah.
never give him. And now, so Blake's got everything he wants right now.
He's established,
Yep.
right? Yeah. No, he's
Exactly.
got Park Row Avenue and Baltimore,
Eric Miller, Taglione.
so it's ugly. It's not ugly. There's a lot, and the defense is what. And this is the thing, though. Jay got here, I believe, through his goalie defense, and
100%.
yeah, so he can still bring it through and start blocking
Ooh,
and doing that.
Beautiful outside bank by Jay Eli.
He does that without a wrap, but he does that with a wrist. Those are wrist.
Those are wrist shots,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really seen anybody do banks like he does. It's pretty neat to see.
It is. Yeah.
Jay
And
tries
where's
to
Jay
go-
out of?
Florida. Jay's a Florida guy.
Okay.
Yep.
It's great. Yeah. So he's painting all the corners. He's doing the straights. I mean, he's feeling really confident on his 3 right now.
Yep. Absolutely. Tried to go for a 5-bar shot.
That's the second time that Jay's done that, and those are those things. Those are the possessions that you just shouldn't be doing. They look tentative, and they were tentative.
Yep.
You should have just been passing and trying to score, make something happen on his 3. And I think again with that flippy push side. But to your point, Chase, earlier, Jay had to make a statement on the 3-bar, and
Yep.
because that's been his weakness throughout the tournament. Even though he's here playing in this for third or second. But he still needed to establish something on the 3-bar.
Yeah. Let's talk about what we just saw. For
Right.
all intents and purposes, Jay didn't play that bad. He didn't play
No.
that bad.
No.
But Blake scored almost 100%. He missed one flippy push side, and he got whatever
One
he
middle.
wanted.
Yeah.
It's like that's how the difference between a master and a pro. And Jay's got to stay really red hot because he doesn't have the toolbox. So if he was
he
red
doesn't.
hot getting here, he's got to be red hot to compete, or he's going to play good and get blown out. Jay will
And
play
I can-
good and get blown out.
And I got to make this comparison because there's this great series on YouTube where they have, it's not foosball, it's food, and they'll have a home cook, a professional cook, and a master chef all cook the same thing, like an omelet or a filet mignon or something. and it follows them as they each one cook it, and each one produces something that's edible and decent, but each one does so on a tiered level of nuance that the one before them did not,
Yeah,
which
right.
comes from experience and background. And I know I'm talking about food, but it is so applicable to foosball because that's what you're seeing
Absolutely.
right now. You saw the player on the right cook a pretty decent fillet for his family, which is what I would do, but then Blake over here has got his 4-star Michelin stuff, and
Yeah,
both
Yeah.
look pretty decent and good results, but one is operating at a completely different level.
yeah.
Now I'll say this: Jay requested the side switch here. I think that's a really good idea.
Because what happened at the beginning?
Yeah, exactly. And so what happened early on is Blake chose the side. Blake chose the black side when they did the coin flip, and he just beat Tony on that side. Jay had been practicing on that side the whole time, and Blake immediately picked that side. So him switching back, I think, is going to be part, confidence thing and trying to get Blake off his game a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work or not. As a fan, we all want that to happen so that we can see more of this match. But I
But
think
you
this
got
is
to
a
do it.
decisive switch.
You got to do it.
Oh, you
got
have
to do
to do it
everything.
in this
You have to. I
situation.
mean,
100%.
because honestly, because I talk about toolbox folks, and I'm not always talking about a slingshot or a far wall hard pass. I'm talking about like everything you do on or around the table as well. And we're talking about timeouts. We're talking about switching sides. All these different things matter. They all add up.
Yep. And this
It's
is
just
one of
about how
those
many.
things.
It is. It's about how many paints you have on your palette, how many brushes you have in your jar. Unfortunately, some people's canvases aren't as large as others.
Yeah, I think this is a big time switch. I think this needs to, I want to see a little bit more. Jay's got to pass a little bit better to compete right now.
He had 2 5-bar possessions that he wasted with 5-bar shots.
Yep.
Is what it comes down to, and this is it. This is the inflection point. If he doesn't win this, because we said Jay has to win the first game. He has to win the first 2 games off the bat. He didn't get dominated, but he lost the first one. If he doesn't do something with the second one, and that looked like he just messed it up, but he came back, did a great reverse
Good
push.
little push side, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Looked like he choked for a second there, so that was a great recovery.
Blake is so smooth and quick, man. This is when Jay's defense really has to come through. Wow. Great pull side by Blake.
And that it looked like the men were there, but that little tap just changed everything of the timing.
Absolutely. All right, Jay with possession on the 5. Slow tic-tacking around, goes really high through the lane. Great catch. Absolutely great catch. Goes with a quick little, don't know what that was. Goes off the outside wall, back at the goal. Up 2-1.
Yeah, but no table tap, so
Exactly right.
good job, Jay.
Oh,
Again,
that was,
Now, I don't
to
know.
me, a mistake.
I've not seen Jay play a lot. I mean, is that his style, into
Yeah.
quick kicks and things like, or pull kicks and things?
It's definitely an aspect of his game that he uses. I would like to see him get away from it for this match. I'd like to see him set up that rollover, shoot it at a little bit better percentage. He picks strange holes, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Is he reads things a little bit different. But Blake there to block it and progresses all the way up to his 3-rod. This is going to be tough. Jay really has to come alive.
Yeah.
Blake
And that
with
was
a quick push side.
that was just effortless.
Yeah.
From the 2 to the 5 to the 3 to the back of the hole was beautiful.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, everything was smooth. Everything was clean. Like I said, it's like a Rocky versus a Creed. Kind of unorthodox fighter versus somebody that was considered a great boxer in the movies. So
And Blake now you can see he is zeroing in on that shot on Jay's 3-bar. He's doing that post over defense, but he's doing that post over defense exactly in the way that he needs to, because he's doing just this last millisecond race. It was a bait race, is what he was doing. He just straight raced him out there, and I think everybody in the room knows Jay's not going dead bar.
right, yeah, that's not part of the game plan for sure. All right, after the timeout that Blake took, Jay does end up with position on his 3-rod. Sets up in front pin snake shot. Ooh, slight misexecution, which gets blocked by Blake. Blake looks to go 2 to 5.
So are you in the room?
Beautiful brush up from the 2 to 5.
I love that
Tries to go
possession
high lane.
because he gets a turnover and he takes care of the possession. It's a little hybrid between what Tony does to you and what Blake does to you. Blake will shoot a slingshot, or you'll turn it over and he'll go 2 to the 5 and shoot the cutback tuck split, which he means, and now he's dominating.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You can tell he's not. You can tell Blake is in it. He's in it. There's nothing lethargic about this. He's dialed in.
No.
He's ready, he's focused. He's in the moment, but he's licking his chops. He thinks he's got a shot to take Brandon out.
Absolutely.
And you have to look at his composure and demeanor, and this is the thing about him, and I think that's the thing about a lot of these high level players. They don't have their face in this rictus of focus and terror all the time. They're just focused on what they're doing. And even though he might look like he's just kind of waiting for a bus to show up, there is a level of calm, cool collectedness that's happening physically that you see translated onto the table and what he's doing. This is that zone that we always talk about being in. And he's there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
He just beat Tony, by the way, and it wasn't the Beach Town beatdown. That's a milestone for Blake, by the way. When he beat Tony in Florida at the Beach Town beatdown, it was not taken lightly. He relished that. He sat in the chair, and we talked about it, and he was moved by beating Tony for the first time in however long it was. He just beat Tony again. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for Blake. He's full steam ahead and feels like this is an opportunity for him. I think that Jay's in real trouble.
He is in trouble, and this is where we're going to see the delineation mark in Chase. This is where we really see the difference between pros and pro masters.
Oh, absolutely.
How deep can Jay go? How deep can he go under pressure? What is he going to do? What can he possibly do different than what we've already seen? I feel like we've got a pretty good example of what his game is.
He won't do it. But I know what he should do. He should stall, get a ref, talk smack, trying to get in his head. He should delay. I mean, this is what you do. And this is the things that Johnny Horton would do. These are things Tommy Atkins and Steve Murray go get a ref, to get a second ref, make up stuff, get table maintenance, and just try to get in his brain. Slow it down to a crawl, but he's not going to do it. That's not really a gamesmanship thing that you see much these days. And so we'll be fortunate to see him win this game. I hope he does. Let's see how it ends.
Each game he has actually come out, opened, and pretty much scored the first goal.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been able to keep that plan going. And I think to your point, you said how Blake's kind of dialed in his shot. He really looks like he has been with the defense. It's minimalized.
He's still shooting slingshots.
Yeah.
It's like that's a relaxed.
Why not? You hit it on Tony, it's going to go on everybody else.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, he's starting to make it look easy.
That was another flippy push side.
Yeah, flippy push side. Absolutely.
And let's call that what that is. I mean, for most people out there that maybe don't know what that is, when we shoot a rollover, it starts with the wrist, and you're doing you're using the motion of your arm and your wrist rolling up the handle to shoot your shot, especially a push side. But he's flipping the ball out with his hand. He's not actually doing that motion. And that's arguably a lot harder. But then he comes around and does that pull side using his wrist. You can see it's much harder physically, but it's not. It's easier skill wise. So he's obviously not only in command, but he's doing that specifically to change up the timing.
Yeah, and I'll say this: it seems like that he is able to do that flippy push side and then immediately go quick pull side rollover, and to the point where he doesn't even think about it. I mean, it's just automatic for him. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is looking kind of what I was expecting to happen.
Yep.
With the steamroll 3 straight, I don't know. There's still some time, but not with that kind of stuff happening, and not with Blake playing loose like this. But again, I don't know. Really, to this point though, Mark, what's the difference here? Because Jay is he's not without ability or skill or talent. What is the difference?
I think we'd start off with the where we end where we started, the beginning of the conversation, and the story was That's it.
Wow.
The story was about how Frederic came to watch me play for 90 seconds and took me apart in the very next match because he saw the depth of my toolbox had severe limitations and he didn't have to worry about me. Jay's probably a big fish. I don't know if he's in Tampa. If he's in Tampa, he's not that big a fish. But if he's in Florida somewhere in one of these smaller pockets, he might be a big fish in a small pond, and he might be very dominating in his local area. And then you get out here with guys like Blake that have played at a high level for easily a decade, right? I don't know how long. I mean,
Yeah, about that.
20 years now. And you realize the gap in experience and execution and in mental toughness, and it's too big. It's too wide a margin. It just Jay has a lot to work on unforced errors, misexecution. It's just too much. It's overwhelmed, and you see it in all sports. You see it in professional basketball. You see it in football teams. You see it in collegiate wrestling. You see it at every level. Some guys are just the top of the food chain, and Blake's one of those guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, his ascendance after the World's Tornado Championships last year, and also because one of the big things for me was seeing him win that King of the Ring at Colorado State. I know it's a specialty event, but it's not easy, and the fact that he was able to emit that kind of mastery that you need to be able to beat players that do have a certain skill level and ability level and are getting points spotted. That to me, that's a gradient. That's a curve. Then he's past it now. So I'm curious to see this year how that's going to play out. Folks, we're just trying to figure out right now. We were supposed to be here till
11. An hour
11.
ago.
Yeah, but an hour ago. But we can't stay away from foosball. The stream might continue, folks, but I don't know if they're going to play the finals tonight.
We're confirming.
We're
and then
finding out that right now.
We'll know for sure here shortly. I don't believe that they'll play them tonight, in my opinion. Just
We'll
because
find
of
out
the
here.
time of night and Jim's not on the stage.
Greg Rushing, are you in the room?
I want to congratulate Jay for
Greg Rushing.
Right.
amazing finish.
Yeah.
Third place finish. Yeah, it's a breakthrough moment for Jay to get third in open singles in this field with incredible masters. And
Greg
I don't think you should be understated. I think you should go home and work hard, watch the film, and recognize the little things. It's not anything that can't be overcome or educated to, but the distance is clear, and he's got a lot of work to do. And hopefully, it compels him and inspires him to work hard to get there.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that the ability is there. I think it's just a matter of time. There's obviously there's a few keys, but he took down Tourney. He took down King Gabriel. These are two top tier players, right? Like, let's not discount that. But to finish the tournament, right? And to win it, or even in this case, get second, there's a gap. And he just has to work on a few very specific things. And I think that he can narrow that gap ever so slightly at least.
Still a lot of foosball this weekend left.
Oh, yeah.
Open doubles, I think, starts tomorrow at 3 local time.
Sounds correct.
Yeah, so it's a nice compact event. Let's see, what are we looking at here tomorrow, Saturday? Beginner singles starts, pro singles starts, women's open doubles, amateur doubles, expert doubles, and a DYP to boot. No conflict UIP. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of foosball tomorrow, folks. We're starting again noon local time uh, uh, for coverage inside Foos, as well as coverage on Sunday. I'm not sure the times yet for that, but we'll get that to you. But yeah, this is a great way to, let's say, kick off the tour.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Munoz to Terminez. Brandon Munoz Terminez.
Ooh, that's the question. I can hear it being
Calling-
called in the background.
Yeah, they're calling Brandon Munoz. You could hear, folks. So I don't know if they're going to try to do the finals tonight, midnight finals. I don't know. Chase, weren't you at TKO 2 years ago or a year ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did they do back-to-back finals for the open events, or do they just run it?
They usually have it where it's a production, so I'd be very surprised if they held open singles final tonight. Very surprised.
It's midnight, and don't they want some people to watch, not to be critical?
Well,
but,
and they want Jim to do the intros and the recording and all that stuff.
Well, Jim's not there.
Oh, at all?
Jim, no.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Got it.
So they won't rest on Jim.
But I still think that they want it to be,
Yeah, they still want it to be a show. Not
looks
just
like
let's play the
Ashley's,
finals.
Donald Wilson is speaking to Brandon and Blake right now. I'm assuming. I have no idea. I don't want to make any assumptions.
Let's ask Ashley to tell Brandon to go home
For the weekend.
Yeah, just call him an Uber.
For the entire weekend, just head on
Get an
home.
Uber.
See you, bud.
RJ
Have a good one.
Aquaponics says you can handle it. You as in Brandon Munoz or us as in us?
Jeez, the deflection in your voice there.
I'm just hearkening back to Colorado State and being up till 6 p.m. or a.m.
Here's what sorry. Keep talking about Colorado State at 3 a.m. It's fine.
No.
I'll just say the one thing we established tonight is all three of us are experts ranked pro. All I wanted to establish tonight.
No, I'm not an expert.
Here's the thing, and here's the argument I'll make with you, and I'll concede half of it.
Okay.
If we're bumping down all of the pro masters that you would probably consider not to be pro masters, and we're just kind of moving everybody down the chain, sure, I agree with you. But if you're just doing it to be like, well, I don't think they should be pros because of X, then I disagree with you.
Okay, so let me contextualize it. I think there's a bunch of I think master should mean something. I've litigated this online. I think master should mean something, so I don't think you should be a master unless you won something. Leave it at that. But I also think master should play almost probably for free. I think there should be some attachment to being a master. So fine. Let's stop. The masters is one thing. I think there are a lot of people that should be reasonably ranked pro because they've dominated at the expert level.
Yes.
You dominate the expert level, and you should be a pro. Those are your pros. If you never dominated at the expert level or showed high level of consistent excellence at the expert level, you should be an expert. And those guys should all be experts until they do that. And what that does, it creates a normal curve where you have a very small percentage of masters, pros, a very small percentage of beginners, and you have a bunch of experts and amateurs in the middle that are all like
that. I all agree with because to my point, and here's the thing, and actually it's kind of towards your point. I actually never even won an expert event.
There you go. So
I got bumped to expert. I won pro doubles, and they immediately bumped me to pro.
Okay, so here's the tragedy that if you look at pro as a milestone, then you got to this construct, and now you're infinitely ill-equipped to compete with the people that are going to smash you all the time. You're never going to win an open major, frankly, with that trajectory. And my story is identical. I made 2 names pro, and everyone's heard this. I won all kinds of shit, and I placed high in all kinds of shit, but I should have never been a pro, ever. I should have been an expert and been able to win. I won 2 expert events. I won California State expert singles 2 years in a row, and a bunch of high finishes in open, and then I became pro. That's my whole history. That's it. There's no reason why I should have ever been a pro. And I argue against this. So I could go win. I could practice like I did in 05, and win a pro event, and it means nothing to me because it's not real. So I think we're agreeing essentially that you got promoted way too quickly, and so did
Yes.
I. And Adam, who was 25 or 10 points from being a master, would be the first to admit it would have been a comical promotion. And he's a guy who's beat Terry
I
Moore.
wouldn't say comical.
I would say comical.
I wouldn't say no, because I mean I was competing. I was getting in the I don't know, top 7 in open singles at nationals, and doing well. Moy and I got 4th in an open doubles at a large state tournament. It was a regional tournament, but still, I was placing in those higher places, so I was there on the cusp. But pulling it together, it doesn't matter. Like, pulling it together is a thing. Like, was I capable of doing it? I don't know. In hindsight now, no, obviously not. But no, it's
you've been a trash master. You in the 90s.
No,
we had 100
no,
masters.
No.
I think we had We had 200. We had I think Arthur Mitchell has the number somewhere. We had like 200
I've never
masters.
seen you play, so I don't have a horse in this race. But just by the way that Mark is acting, I'm going to agree with you.
You've been a trash master. You've been a raccoon. You've been a raccoon master.
There's no way. No. But anyways, folks, really enjoy you all being here with us this evening. Looks like we're going to be wrapping it up. The finals match in open singles will be starting tomorrow. Coverage starts at Inside Foods, I believe, at noon.
What's going on the table 1? What is this going on table 1?
This is just for fun. Pick up.
There's nothing called on table 1. Yeah.
Thank God. It looks like Brandon from here.
No.
Yeah.
It's
no.
Not, but it's okay.
Wow. Look at you go.
Wow.
So he's just warming up.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Oh, the Verve is playing. So thanks everybody for tuning in with us tonight. And we're going to be more. Mark, you're going to be on tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be on tomorrow. I think I might be on with Clay too.
I may join you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to join in tomororw.
That'd be great. We need a play-by-play guy who can moderate and be a mediator and
I'm no Jim Stevens. So.
No, you're not.
Dude, listen, you know, we're going to talk about paper pros. Clay Toomey. They're all. It's a whole contingency of garbage pros that can join you tomorrow.
I love it.
I can't believe you called me a raccoon, Mark. I'm going to destroy you on the table next time I play you. I've always destroyed you on the table.
What I've done to him recently.
So bad.
Let's end on this. Adam Gilson, incredibly super skilled player, second generation cruiser, group of the foosball table, amazing hand speed, cerebral, high quality play. Would have been a trash master. Would have been a trash master.
That is so not
bottom of the barrel.
I'm going to destroy you. You know what?
Yeah.
You're horrible.
If it makes you feel better, he hasn't said one nice thing about me, so don't worry about it. That was the nicest thing you're going to get out of Mark.
I like Chase.
Anyways,
here's my compliment to Chase. Chase has the physical ability of a master with the mental game of a 5th grader.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the physical ability of a master.
You've never seen me play.
I've seen you.
No, but here's why Chase Riley really does have great skill. He's incredibly skilled. Hits the ball fast, lateral speed, can do all those things. I've seen hundreds of those dudes. I can name them. Franco Del Pozo and Joey Smith. He's got the mental game of. He's got the mental strength of a Girl Scout cooking.
I do love.
Why are you bringing Girl Scouts to it?
As long as it's a Samoa cookie, I love those things. They're so good.
Those are good. All right, folks. Well, I'm Adam Gilson. That's Chase, 5-year-old Girl Scout Fennell.
I'm good with it.
Mark
I'm fine with
doesn't know what he's talking about. Torres.
Right,
until tomorrow, folks.
Talk later.
Appreciate you, everybody. Great evening.
Thank you, Ashley.
Good night.